Good morning, y'all. Morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Guess what we're here for? WWDC 2017 in the house. We gotta get all the cast of characters up in here. Miss Sharon Profis.
Hello.
Oh, very nice head turn.
Yeah.
I like that.
Here I am.
Miss Lexi Savidis.
Good morning, everybody.
And the man running the show, the genius behind all this, Mr. Stephen Beecham.
Good morning.
Where's the head bob, bro?
Come on.
Good morning.
Hey.
All right, everybody, welcome to the show. This is our live pre-show of WWDC 2017. We're an hour before the actual pre-show. This is where we talk about everything possible. We're going to set a few pieces of business in order, meaning how can you reach us, how can you be a part of the show, and what type of good stuff you guys have for us. So first off, everyone, do we all have the number memorized by heart of where they can call us? Or will a special graphic help us with this?
I think a special graphic.
There we go. All right, if you want to be a part of the show, the number right down here, 1-888-900 CNET. Why? I just ate the number. Now, John Kim is on the phone lines. Be nice to him. If you don't know John Kim, he helps produce so much of our content, our videos. You might recognize him in such skits as AirPods, the music video. So he's running the phones for us, so be nice. Tell John, just say nice things when you first call him. Like, John, you're a great guy. Just let's throw him off. He has no idea what we're doing here.
Exactly. Can't hear us, so we could say anything we like.
So we're here to talk about everything WWDC. We also have a few other pieces of business. Before we get into the meat of the show, let's all hold these up.
Oh, boy.
Ding, ding,
This
ding,
is
ding,
the
ding.
big
It's on.
WWDC 2017 Big Bingo card. How can you play this game? All right, so we have a link set up for you. It's so easy. It's a tiny URL or tiny URL /Earl. Tiny URL /WWDC 2017. It's like the easiest you can do. This is a randomly generated bingo card that we have created. And if you win, I should have our lovely friends here show off some of the goodies.
Oh, all right.
We have 14 prizes ranging from spec cases, both sizes for iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. Also, how about some Belkin? Are these Thunderbolt? Lightning cables.
Oh, we all need those.
Ta-da.
Here, let's do a product dance. You want that? You want that. Okay, so play the game. The best way to let us know if you've won is using the hashtag CNET Live. Once we go, we have to do this when the keynote starts. Whenever you hear any of these terms or see them announced, exit on your card, and then through the website you can actually hit the square and it'll use that. Once you do that, then you are good to go. And so you could screenshot it, send it to us, and then we'll just pick like the top 14 people and give out prizes. It's gonna be real good like that.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. Okay. Now let's talk about what's going on outside the show. Let's get a sneak peek. This is not exactly live at the moment, but this was just taken a few minutes ago. The exterior of WWDC happening in the San Jose Convention Center. Ladies, what do you guys think about them bringing it over to San Jose this year? Yay, nay, meh? How do you feel about that?
It's too far away.
It's
for
so
us.
far.
For
Yeah,
us.
it's more of a logistical thing.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares where they do it?
Sorry.
By far, the 40-minute drive far.
Yeah.
So far. Facebook did F8 down there this year, so I think they're trying to copy them a little bit.
Keep it in the Silicon Valley. I think for the attendees, I went to San Jose State University. That is blocks away from the college that I attended. But come on, there's so much more to do in San Francisco
Yeah.
than there is in San
I
Jose.
feel bad for all the people who flew in for this and ended up in. Sorry, no offense to San Jose.
offense. All right. I didn't realize how crazy y'all want to talk about WWDC 2017. The lines are completely
Really?
filled.
Hey-o.
They're lit up,
Oh my
everybody.
Y'all lit.
Whoa.
Y'all lit AF.
Okay, that's the first and last time we're going to say that on this podcast.
I don't know
for those
about that.
concerned.
I don't know about that. Now that you said that, I might use it a few more
Oh,
times.
Lord.
Okay, so we know a lot of things. We're going to see, obviously, WWDC revamps to the operating systems. But, ladies, let's just kind of go around in a circle. I would love to hear from you what you guys hope, personally, what you guys want to see. I'll start wherever you guys want to go.
I don't mind starting.
Why
By
don't
the
you
way,
start,
I
Sharon?
did have to change my headphones because
On
it
the
was like for the last
What was
5
that?
minutes. Yeah, exactly what you just heard. I I want to see a refresh of the MacBook Air. I think it's ridiculous that Apple just kind of put it on the back burner. I know it's a favorite for a lot of people who use the Air to get through college and have a lot of allegiance to it. So I want to see a refresh on the MacBook Air, even if it's just minor. Just keep it alive. And I have to say, I'm most excited for Apple to finally get in the smart speaker game.
Good Lord.
Gosh, I mean, it's so sad, and we can talk about this more, but they set the stage with Siri years before anybody else did, a personal assistant, and then they just kind of ignored it and let Amazon and Google walk all over them. So I want to see a smart speaker that I might actually want to buy.
Okay, Miss Lexi.
I'm excited about iPads. No, actually, I'm not.
Come on! I'm excited about iPads, y'all. Come on. I'm the iPad loser guy who loves that thing.
Look, there's a market and there's an audience for it. Okay.
You're that 5% market guy.
I'm the tablet naysayer.
Yeah.
However, I'm excited, like Sharon says, about Siri. I really want to see some excitement in the Siri space. I want to see how they're going to answer Google, especially after I/O this year, that they announced a lot of interesting stuff around the assistant and artificial intelligence specifically. Now, I also want to know where Apple's going to go with augmented reality or mixed reality, right? So they are really, really behind in this space in terms of what we've seen. Pretty much seen nothing from Apple. So I want to know if they're going to be working on a standalone headset. Are they working on a HoloLens? Are they working on something integrated with the iPhone? Like, what are we going to see in terms of the implementation of those 2 cameras on the 7 Plus? Like, what are we going to see? I want to see some augmented reality. I want to see some mixed reality and something fun.
Something crazy.
Yeah.
You know, quite honestly, for me, this is probably the most exciting potential keynote we've seen in a long time. And the reason why I say that is because we actually don't know too much. Look, we know everything about the iPhone. We really do. We know about 80% of the new iPhone that's coming out in September. But here at WWDC, we really don't have any real meat and potatoes when we're talking about what they're going to do with iOS 11. What are they going to do with iOS 11 for the iPad? There's some little nuggets, and we'll talk about those later. What's going to happen to macOS? What's going to happen to TiVos? What's going to happen to WatchOS? Like, we don't really know. And then in addition to that, obviously, like you said, you know, we've talked about on the Apple Byte ad nauseum about just how they need to. I don't want to see a Siri the way Siri is. It needs to be a whole new Siri. If it wants to compete with what is out there. Don't give us, we added more third-party partners. Don't give me, we added a few more hooks to this information. It has to be significantly smarter. It has to be a different system. So with this came from the acquisition that Apple had years ago of the company that basically now has Viv, the smart assistant, which is integrated into Samsung's Bixby, which we haven't seen. Apple acquired Siri and made it their own, but they have, like you said, they haven't done anything significant to it since its launch in, what was that? Was it around 2011? Is it 2011? The 4S. It was the 4S.
The 4S, yeah.
So 2011. So, we're waiting to see that.
Man,
I just think, though,
time ago.
a long time.
6
a long time
ago.
ago. That's
She's old.
millennials in the tech world. So, I just want to see. To me, this WWDC means a lot more than even an iPhone keynote. I think this is going to set the stage of where Apple is going to fall in line with artificial intelligence, voice assistants, and where their platform is going to be able to either compete or kind of feel like, nice try, you guys are still behind. I think a lot's riding on this for Apple, just the future of it, because we felt they've been behind for the past couple of years. I think this year is where you need to show us that you're either caught up or doing something even better.
Yeah, tell all those people waiting for the Note this summer that they shouldn't leave their iPhone for the Note. Tell everyone ready to upgrade that they shouldn't get the S8. So I think that, to your point, Siri can't just be like Siri 2.0. It needs to be true artificial intelligence. Right now, we have a fixed set of questions and answers that you can ask Siri. It doesn't feel like you're really having a natural conversation. It feels very forced and calculated. So if Apple can actually not just improve Siri in a superficial way, but actually make it like, oh, wow, now I really feel like this is the future of artificial intelligence, I think they can keep a lot of people around for a bit longer.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go hit the phone lines. The keynote starts at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We have 50 minutes to hang out with y'all. We're going to be friends.
Yeah.
We're going to take your phone calls, and we're going to talk more because we want this show to be all about you as well. So let's hit up our friend Matthew out in Detroit. Matthew, can you hear us? Welcome to CNET Live.
Hello.
What's up, man?
So this morning I read on 9 to 5 Mac. that
Wait, did you read it on 9 to 5
Apple
Mac? You read it
has-
on CNET.com. Well, no, I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you. On CNET via 9 to 5 Mac. I'm just playing with you. Go ahead.
Yes. That an app was actually leaked onto
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
that's
name
right.
was leaked onto the App Store named Files.
Yes, sir.
Does this mean that for iOS they might be introducing a file browser?
Yeah, Apple's going to act like they just invented a file system. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of, I don't know how much you've been
It
following
wouldn't
along.
surprise me.
Yeah, of course not. There were renderings out from a group named Mac Stories showing an actual Finder navigation system that could potentially be brought to the iPad. The thing here is that this showed up as an iPad app only, so not for iOS 11 as a whole, but just for the iPad, which would, be a huge help, but the system needs more than that for the iPad. But this is one of those things that I'm quite honestly excited to see if they have some level of file navigation that shows us that the iPad is more than just a large screen iPhone.
Something that Android's had.
But
for
then I also
however
read
years.
Oh yeah.
that the in one of their support apps, a name was leaked that was drag and drop for the iPad.
Uh-oh. Drag and drop.
Hmm.
We'll see. I think that if this is the case, I mean, this is going to help the Pro feel more pro. But
Yeah.
again, I need Apple to really impress us with the iPad Pro. I'm the number one iPad
I
Pro
really-
freak.
yeah.
I think it has to go more than that, but I think it's look, Apple needs to show us
It's a
more than just
start.
steps in the right direction, right? We need to be like, dang, that software is so significantly different that now it feels like this is a machine that could potentially replace my laptop, which is what they kind of try and talk like it will. But
Right.
it's not on the level of the Surface, obviously, not even close from a functionality standpoint. But we'll see. We'll see. But I think it's really interesting, and we have a shot up there of kind of what that leak looks like. So, Matthew, thank you for the information, my friend. You are a part of CNET Live.
Ooh.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. I have to say, all I want to
Thanks.
be able to do is download a zip folder and open it on my unzip it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
That's
like-
not easy to do.
No, it's not. Please, just give me.
Hashtag first world tears. Hashtag first world tears. All right.
Man.
Should we hit up some more phone? Literally, the phone lines are all the way filled through. You can see our number. It's 1-888-900 CNET.
Oh, Brian,
What?
where can our viewers get the bingo board?
Oh, did we put the? Okay, we'll put
Yeah,
the link
I
up
put that
again.
up.
Let's do that
Yeah.
one more time. I love this. If you guys want to see down here in this little link here, tinyearl.com WWDC. This is what y'all need to come prepared with. This is the bingo card. This
Warriors
allows
2
you.
up.
This allow. Hey, wait, Beach, can you refresh that? For some reason, I thought mine.
Oh,
was-
is this?
I think.
Let me see.
Let's see here.
Refresh.
Yeah.
Oh,
there we go.
there it is.
There's the
There's
update.
the
2 up.
baby.
Just to let y'all know, the free spot is Warriors up 2-0. In case y'all didn't recognize, just in case, it's the free spot right in
Facts
this.
are facts.
It's the free
people.
spot in the center that I gave you because the Warriors are up 2-0. Okay, so and if you guys again play along with us, this happens during the keynote. Just send us a screenshot to hashtag CNET Live. We're giving out Belkin cases. We're giving out spec cases. We're doing it all.
Oh yeah.
So this is gonna be. No, I'm not gonna say the L word.
What's the?
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Don't
All
do
right,
it.
Lit.
let's get
It's
more
gonna
calls.
be crusty.
We're going to go out to Ottawa with our friend Chris. Welcome to CNET Live. What's up? What do you want to talk about today? Chris?
Poutine.
Come in, Chris.
Chris. Okay, here we go.
There he is. There he is.
Sorry, I was just eating something.
Wait, eating what specifically?
Poutine.
It's all good. It's early in the morning.
Some pizza. It's lunchtime out here.
Oh.
I was going to say, man, it's early for pizza out here, but I see where you're at.
It's never too
Yeah,
early
we're
for
on
pizza.
Eastern time coast.
A quick question about pizza. I have this debate all the time. When they make Hawaiian pizza, should pineapple be put on a pizza or not? This is a
Sure.
What do you think?
That depends if you want to be fancy or not. You
Well-
just got to do pepperoni pizza if you want to be basic.
Oh, you want to be a basic?
Hashtag basic.
Yeah.
Can I just ask one more thing about pizza? Do you call it
Yeah.
a cheese pizza or a plain pizza?
We call it cheese pizza.
Thank
We
you.
have pepperoni pizza that's really popular up here. And
You might have heard of this pizza called pepperoni. All right, Chris, let's get to your question. We're just having fun with you. Welcome to the show. What's going on?
I'm doing good. I was wondering, since WWDC is usually software-based, we're looking at some possible hardware updates. What would be your most favorite hardware update product?
Well, are you saying in their current existing line or just what would be my favorite product to see?
Well, mine would be the Siri speaker. That'd be quite interesting, but what would yours be?
Well, I think that look, Apple hasn't, and people like got on me for this, Apple hasn't released really a truly new product in about 2 years. Like the Apple Watch is just outside of 2 years, but literally the hardware that we've seen from Apple up to this point is Apple Pencil and AirPods. Okay, and AirPods, really, really good, not great. Looks kind of funky still, not gonna lie. But this is Apple's this could be a new piece of hardware, a new platform. Look, I have an Echo, I have a Home. I really am curious to see how much better Apple can do than that. Of course, it's going to have their ecosystem hooks. I don't subscribe to Apple Music, so that's not compelling enough for me. But the Siri speaker is going to tell us how Apple is just thinking about this space. So that's what I'm most excited about. I don't know if you ladies have any other chime-ins.
MacBook Air with Retina screen.
Oh,
I keep saying
that's a good one.
Wait, was this from like 5 years ago you said this? 5 years ago? 5 years ago?
Every single Apple live show we do, I'm like, guess what I'm like? MacBook Air, Retina screen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I need to just be at peace with that and make my way.
I love the self-therapy that's happening right now.
Chris, what were you going to say, buddy?
It's possible. There's
It's possible.
Hardware updates.
Yeah,
We never know.
Yeah, this is one of the few WWDCs where I think we're going to see a lot more hardware. Apple has actually kind of almost banked up to this whole first half of the year. We haven't seen any basically new hardware, so we're waiting for MacBook Pros, iPads, Apple Watch, iPhone, iMac, Mac Pro, Siri speaker. We're going to get loaded in this back end of the year. This is just the start. And to the MacBook thing, we're potentially expecting to see MacBooks and MacBook Pros getting upgraded. That MacBook Air, though, is kind of up in the air. I mean, I think they'll keep it around. It's their most affordable MacBook, but we'll see if they do anything to it today. I hope they do.
I hope they do. We know
do.
that the sales of the MacBook Air are still very strong, so for them to just ignore that would be leaving money on the table. I just want to see the Siri speaker. That's all I want. I hope that's a rumor that actually comes true, and because it's finally a new product from Apple. We haven't seen anything new. Oh, hello.
Hey, Chris. We'll have Sharon finish up her thoughts, and then. But thank you for calling. We really appreciate that. Okay.
No.
Thank you so much.
So it sounds like we have a Skype call coming in. But TLDR, we haven't seen anything really new and exciting since the AirPods or the watch. So give us something to give you our money for.
Give us something that we can make videos for so that we can get more views and we can still keep doing this show.
Thank you.
All right. Scott Stein is calling us on the line.
Oop, we don't have your video, Scott.
Scott, right now you look like a white icon.
Do you not see me at all? I have it on. Let's see. You see me now?
Again. Not yet.
This is like a bad Verizon commercial, guys. Let's be real.
There he is. There he is.
All right.
Hey, he's wearing his AirPods.
From inside the San Jose Convention Center, Scott Stein, editor extraordinaire, always loves to give us a live look inside. Scott, thank you for joining us. You do look beautiful with your
vertical or
AirPods.
landscape?
Go landscape.
Turn it sideways,
if you
bro.
can, please.
Go vertical or landscape?
Landscape.
Is that even
There
a
it
question?
There he is.
There it is.
All right.
All right.
So, Scotty, too hottie.
All right. Actually, flip it this way. Flip it this way. There we go. Yeah.
We can do
This is great. This
technology.
is great video, guys. I think the stream either went really up or really down. I'm not sure. But Scott, tell us kind of what
it's kind of hanging in there.
Tell us about just the scene. Set it for us over there at the San Jose Convention Center.
So pretty calm and smooth so far. A lot of people, but we're getting in here. It feels pretty spacious. So, and
He froze.
It's okay. He's gonna come back.
Bad bandwidth there.
in other years, I actually feel like it was like close.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what?
There's a lot of
Oh, the family
You know what we should
photo
do?
is the cutest.
This video went away too.
If we can message him and see if we can just get him on a pure call. Let's just try that in a bit. But if not, it's okay.
Landline only.
He's still trying. It's okay. Let's just wrap this up. All right, Scotty.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
bad, but it's gonna be a battle. So call us back on the phone line. We'll reach out to you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just kill the call for now.
Okay.
It's like trying
Sorry,
to.
Scott,
yeah.
it's not working this
It's like,
time.
oh, well, what?
I love you, but we had to let you go.
Anyways, we'll see if we can catch back up with Scott. Let's go back to the phone lines and hear what y'all want to hear. We've got Jordan from San Antonio, home of the Spurs, who I highly respect for the record. Jordan, just to let you know. What's up? Welcome to CNET Live.
Actually, not Spurs fan. Just live here, sadly.
Whoa.
Military family. So yeah, we just had to support the team. I mean,
You got
crazy
to.
out here.
You got to,
But
man.
my question is we have WWDC. It's early this year. It wasn't supposed to be like this early. We weren't expecting it to be. Normally have it like later on, which I've noticed. I just feel like WWDC 2016 just happened. And we see the integration. I was asking you, what kind of integration do you hope to see this year for the iPad, and what kind of integration do you hope to see, but they're obviously not going to bring, or they might bring, which would be a surprise to all of us.
Well, I think that if they want this, look, the iPad has an opportunity to, when you talk about, oh, what are they doing in the creative space that is leaving pros out there to figure out other solutions? I think if there's a way, I know there's third-party software that does it, but in Apple's own ecosystem, to have the iPad truly act like a second screen or some sort of drawing tablet that can complement the Mac OS, if they can get some of those hooks with those third-party companies like Adobe to work with it more effectively like that, like a true companion, I think that's one way to be like, look, our iPad Pro is more than a large screen phone that happens to have split screen. I think that's one way that they can work on some of this integration with the iPad tablet, the iPad platform as a tablet to the Mac platform, again, kind of creating more hooks with the ecosystem. If we see that, I don't know. Again, what I just described probably appeals to a very small segment of the Apple user base, but to me, that's okay. I think those are the people that they've forgotten that have been the most passionate about their brand, because we know that the general consumer in general loves Apple stuff and just buys whatever. Like, they don't even know what a smart speaker is. When Apple comes out with their smart speaker, that's what they're going to think is the smart speaker. So I just think that if we have more for the diehards, the people that are actually using these tools as a day-to-day basis as a pro, that's some of the type of stuff that I'd love to see.
And that's the thing, is that people who really like Apple, we have to use these devices for certain things. We have to go out here. But I mean, for example, myself, I went out and I had to go buy a Surface because that's going to work for me, and I'm looking for something that the iPad Pro will bring, because, like you said, and I've been hearing you say every single time that I watch all your shows, is all you say is that the iPad is just a large screen iPhone, and and we're just looking for something more.
And I think
we haven't got that.
I think that
So,
was okay when it first came out, right? But I think that the product has to mature over time, and it hasn't.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that Apple, I think, is lacking from innovation right now, and that's something that hopefully they bring with iOS 11, and we hopefully bring some type of hybrid or something close to a hybrid with macOS and iOS for the iPad, because it's something we're obviously missing in the iPad.
Jordan, you want to be on the show next? I mean, you could just Jordan. If I get sick, I know I got my Jordan, on my bench ready to step up. 6th man of the year right there, baby.
I'm gonna make a lower third for him real quick.
Jordan on the phone, lower third. But Jordan, what do you think? Since we're talking shop with you, what about the Siri speaker? Where are you at with that?
So I've seen the Echo, and I've seen the Google Home, and as an Apple person, I try to not look at what Google has, because you got to stay true to your you got to stay loyal. But I've seen Apple just do these things, and they need to do something new. It's a little annoying seeing them just copy off everyone when they need to be starting something new. They did really well with the computers way back before, and they did something revolutionary with the iPhone, and which Android caught on to. But everything that they've been doing, the watches and the speaker, they're just trying to do it better. And I just think that some of these other companies are doing a whole lot better. They just focus on a new product.
Yeah,
it's going to be something new that we're seeing. Of course, hopefully do something great with that. But of course, Google did that before too. So we'll.
Apple likes to wait, let everybody else give a new product category a try. They did this with tablets. and then they like to come in and then own it and really define the category, and have a flagship product in that category. So I think that in many ways, Google felt like they needed to get in early and just assert themselves there, even if they weren't ready with Google Home. And Alexa did a better job, but still they came in very early. So Apple now I get the sense that there's enough awareness of smart speakers that Apple feels like this is probably the right time to come in and set the tone. So hopefully we'll see something.
And also, don't forget, Apple has the Beats integration, and so what Apple could do is
Lexi.
talk about how the audio quality is superior. I say that with inverted
Lexi, are you being
commas.
sarcastic or?
No, well, look, I'm not a huge fan of the Beats audio, but I know a lot of people are, and that has huge pulling power. Seriously,
No,
gotta
it's
hit
true.
that
No,
bass.
it's
Gotta
true.
hit that bass.
I love that bass and nothing else in the mids and the trebles. Like
bass and,
you know,
and bass and
yeah.
more
Oh, you're
bass.
cracking me up.
Exactly. So that's a huge draw card, especially because the audio from the Echo and the Home is not that good. I mean, there's talk about that Cortana speaker as well that has like the Harman Kardon or like audio, but we haven't heard that, I shouldn't say. We've seen it, but we haven't heard it. So there's a lot of potential for Apple to really pull out all the stops. You know, they have all the content with Apple Music. They have all that stuff going on with all the musicians around Beats. So that could be a huge draw card, especially for people that are like, I don't know what a smart speaker is, but hey, it sounds good.
Exactly.
And Dr. Dre is advertising it.
Yep.
And, you know, why not? Why don't I buy this? It's got Siri. Siri's in my phone. I know what Siri does. So why not?
And great points, Lexi. I think we also should just not underestimate a lot of people that just literally don't even understand what the Home Assistant speaker is.
Right.
Amazon Echo has about 70% of that market right now, which is huge. I don't know how much Apple can take away from it, but we'll see. You know, again, this is just kind of showing us the breadcrumbs of how they're thinking towards the future. So we'll check that out. Now, it looks like we have Scott Stein back on our phone line, and so we're gonna see if Scott is here and clear. This is all audio. We don't need to play around with that Skype with that bad signal at the San Jose Convention Center. Apple. Scotty, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Brian?
Thank you for joining us via phone this time.
Yeah, we're doing it old school.
So, Scott, we were asking you earlier if you could kind of, I know we can't see it as much, we still have the standard stage at WWDC, but maybe set the scene of how it might differ a little bit from San Francisco. If not, that's okay too.
Yeah, so so many auditoriums look alike. You know, auditorium differentiation is tough, but they're all blending together for me. But it is, there's plenty of room. Actually, things have been very calm going in. There was a lot of, more importantly, a lot of waiting room. Huge amount of area when we first came in, maybe even a little more than Moscone. So I thought that actually it seemed very calm coming in, and we sat down. There are even power strips, so that's a nice thing. It's not you never know if there are going to be power strips or not when you're working. There's the animated screen. There's a lot of like that same stuff that's out on the front images of people walking around, kind of like avatar type art. It almost has it reminds me of like a Google I/O where they had animated stuff. There's little animated dancing figures on the screen here. It's the year of animated dancing things on screen.
Hey Scott, you obviously cover Apple a whole bunch. What do you want to see from them at this WWDC? We've been talking about it, how because we haven't had too many leaks in general overall, that this is one of the more exciting WWDCs, and also just kind of them showing off how they're thinking about the Home Assistant and virtual, augmented reality and things of that. What is your feeling about this keynote overall, and what we should expect to see, or what you're excited about?
Yeah, so I mean, they have so many platforms now when you think about it. We used to just talk about iOS and Mac, but there's also iOS for the iPad, which I think really needs to be addressed a lot more. Like, how does the iPad become something that we can use more for work? And also, I'm so curious about what's going to happen with Apple Watch. There's Apple TV, and then there's Siri and rumors of the speakers. So basically, I want like synthesis. I want to see how they can talk about how all these work together in a way that makes sense, so it doesn't feel too fragmented, and you're just getting into features in each individual platform. I think that's going to be the goal. Like, Siri has to be something, when you're in your home and you're saying like, hey Siri, or you're saying, okay Google, how do you know which thing is listening, or how things hand off from one to the other? And I think that's the challenge. Or like, where does the watch fit into that? So That's what I want to see. I'm always curious about AR too, and if there's if there is anything related to AR, like what type is it? Is it Pokemon Go level AR? Is this like Google Tango type AR? Is this like leading up to something you put on your head? No, probably not. But but I think that smart cameras are really becoming a thing this year, like Google Lens, the ability to identify things using a camera lens and computer vision and AI. So I feel like Apple will probably have something in that territory too that will assist people with cameras. I'd look forward to hearing news about that.
Yeah, we're all here nodding our heads listening to you about just how do they tie all this stuff together? I mean, they have the ecosystem advantage from a standpoint of people that have typically been in Apple's ecosystem stay locked in there. And can they elevate that even more? This is an opportunity to show us finally. I'm curious how the Apple Watch fits into this because, they made such a hard push for it. And it's good-ish. I wouldn't even say it's very good. I think it's good-ish if you're an Apple user.
Yeah, sure.
But beyond that, how much can it really do more than, HomeKit is like one of those things where you can use it to a certain degree on your watch, but people have found that just talking to your smart home is a lot more effective than tapping anything.
Yeah.
And so we'll see how they get all those hooks in.
It should be a wrist remote that works with other things in your home, and that's where Apple Watch could fit in. But yeah, they need to sort of explain that. And then, Siri works differently on Apple TV versus the phone versus the watch. It does some things and it doesn't do others. So that's the other thing is like cleaning up and connecting and making clear. Once you have a couple of these things, you realize, it doesn't work quite the same here, or this isn't quite the same. So that's I hope there's a cleaner connection between how all these products fit together.
All right, Scott. Sorry we couldn't get you on video, my man, but we appreciate your call and everything. Get to it. You'll be on site with a slew of our CNET staffers covering everything inside with our live blog as well. And we'll look forward to your coverage, buddy.
Yeah, thanks. I think you won't hear about AirPods. That's probably the only thing you won't hear about.
That is true, but you'll be wearing them, so we can always count on that.
I'm wearing them now.
We're looking forward to the next Scott Stein meme picture of you and the AirPods.
So good.
The infamous Scott Stein. If you might have even seen it without even, huh?
I'll try to wear them as much as possible in awkward situations.
Yes, please.
All right, thanks, Scott. We appreciate your work, man.
Hey, thanks.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
I love his point about making a cohesive experience across all of the devices. People shouldn't have to memorize what Siri can do on the Apple TV versus their phone versus their watch. It should be easy in the sense that you can expect the same experience no matter where you go.
It should be easy, and it should also be a seamless thing so you can, as he was saying, carry across functionality. So you can pick up where you left off if you were on your Apple TV and then have that history available on your smart speaker, on your watch, on your phone. I mean, it's funny. I had this exact problem last night with Spotify. It's kind of the experience didn't continue over. So I was listening on my mobile and then I went over to my desktop and then I couldn't access my listening history.
No!
It was just Like, this is a basic thing.
It's a basic human need. We need this.
Like
Totally
food,
basic.
water, and oxygen.
Food,
So is Spotify.
water, and Spotify pick up where you left off.
Absolutely. So if Apple can do something like that and have the
Yeah.
continuity going, then, I think they're on
The Echo does that great, like you hear a good song that comes on a radio station, you just go to your app, you see it right there, you can replay it, rewind it. It works awesome.
Hey, do you work for Amazon, Beecham?
No, but yesterday I was just listening to Amazon Music all day, and I was like, this is fantastic.
The other thing that and we'll get back to more of the calls that Scott, and to your point, is that because Siri doesn't work the same on all devices, you actually use it less.
Absolutely.
And what
Yes.
you actually use it less.
True.
I don't use Siri on my Apple TV pretty much at all unless I accidentally press the button thinking it was the menu button. That's literally when it pops. I'm like, oh yeah, there's Siri on this. So
Yeah.
that is one of those things, right? Consistency across the board. All right, let's jump on the calls. Just a little reminder: 9:36 a.m. Pacific time right now. The keynote is expected at 10 a.m. We're expecting a lot of great stuff. We're going to get to more of your calls, and we'll talk more shop about what we expect to see at Apple. We have this young gentleman from Berkeley, Samuel, waiting patiently for us. Samuel, what's up? Welcome to CNET Live.
Hi. So I know you guys think that that you guys are going to have the Siri Spark speaker is going to come out, but do you guys think of a price?
Oh yeah, I had a guess price, but I'll let the ladies jump in here. What do you think?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't think they're going to announce a price
she's right.
Yeah. I think though they're going to have to obviously feel out the market, see how the reaction is. If they're going to price it, if they're going to do, if they're going to tag premium Beats technology or something like that, I think that's
I
going
mean,
to
it's Apple.
it's Apple, so there will be a premium price tag, especially if they're going to put Beats on it. I think it's going to jack up the price a little more. I don't know. I kind of, if I was going to guess, I again don't think they're going to announce a price during the keynote. However, if I'm going to guess, I'm going to say $5.99.
Oh, whoa! I was going to say
homegirl.
I don't think it'll sell. What that means.
Is that with like the big addition over your shoulder? Is that the Siri speaker shoulder edition?
That's like in-ceiling mounted Siri speakers
Siri
with an
speaker.
in-home installation.
Better walk around my house and play music.
So this is you like my Siri speaker, y'all? Let's turn that dial up. All right, Sharon.
Brian.
Siri speaker.
Okay, I'm thinking $249.
That's his money price.
Oh,
yeah.
Because look, also right where the market is.
Yeah.
Google, Amazon Echo is $179.
Yeah.
Google Home is at $149.
Yep.
So
$129. $129.
somewhere, yeah. So Apple's gonna go $229, $249, but
And
$249 is a sweet price.
Let's not forget Amazon Echo Dot $40, and when it's on sale,
Yo.
$30.
Yo.
That's like
Heck yo.
3,000 potential Apple speakers.
But
don't forget premium audio. Premium audio.
I'm like feeling this Siri speaker on my shoulder, y'all. This is
Just
tight.
The Siri boombox.
I think that's what they should market it as. Why not?
Siri boombox. Siri boombox. I'm gonna stop that. There's children
They
watching.
really, I mean, they have to really overhaul Siri though to even make it worth it. That's the thing.
Samuel, are you like fed up with this? You want a real Siri? You want a real Siri now? Where are you at, man?
Yes. Yeah.
What about if the Siri speaker was an added feature that came with an over-the-air update? Well, actually, it's not over-the-air, but an update to your Apple TV.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I have an Apple TV,
there you go.
so
I think they need to do something like that.
All right,
I think
Samuel.
maybe the Dot is the TV.
Thanks
I
for
don't know.
calling, man. He's like, yo, I have that. I'm 12 years
It's
old.
like, duh.
What have you done with your life, Sharon?
Is the sky blue?
I got Apple TV.
God.
I got Apple TV, son. All right, let's go to our buddy Calvin in Los Angeles or Louisiana. It says LA, so I'm gonna guess you're SoCal. What's up, Calvin?
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on? What's going on?
You know what? I was calling to talk to you guys about the iPad Pro.
Let's do it.
My brother Anthony and I were talking about how it'd be great if they actually put Pro applications on it, something like Final Cut Pro and whatnot, stuff like that, because it seems like they're just putting Pro on these products just to, hike the price up a little bit.
Hold up. Is this Calvin and Anthony, the brothers? The brothers?
Yes, sir. You know
Wait,
it.
Come on.
Brian, what's the background here?
These are loyal listeners. They like to debate each other. They're brothers that like to fight about tech.
They'll call in the
That's
middle.
right.
They'll leave a message in the middle of an argument with each other.
Yeah. They need a show, man. These bros need a show. That's what I'm
Bring
saying.
'em on.
You know what,
man. Let's
Calvin?
do
With the iPad Pro, you're preaching, man. This is exactly what we're talking about. The thing about it is, I don't know if they're gonna put Final Cut Pro on. I mean, they could because it's basically like iMovie Deluxe. Uh-oh, I said that. Sorry, I said that out loud. But they do look. They need more Pro apps from the start. Even when they dropped the iPad Pro, the whole thing was like this could be compelling if they release Logic, like for an iPad Pro. That's a Pro version. If they release Final Cut Pro, they still haven't done that. So maybe they'll make us happy, but we'll see about that. I love what you're thinking though. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, and it seems like the Surface Pro is, really doing well. Like Microsoft's doing well with, that whole thing. But I don't know, man. We'll see. One day, hopefully.
I think the only reason that people aren't completely flocking to the Surface Pro, yeah, some people have their hangups with Windows being quote unquote less secure, but look, the Surface Pro is a superior product right now if you ignore ecosystem. It just is. And so people have to admit that. I mean, it's beast and it can run those apps. So look, we'll see what Apple does. I'm hoping as an iPad Pro fan that they do the same thing. So thanks for calling, Calvin. Tell your brother we said what's up.
All right, thanks. We'll do.
All right, cool. Take care.
Hey, BT, real quick, can you shout out the live blog? Because it is happening now.
The live blog. So right now we have our editors inside. Our live blog will complement this live stream. We do need so if you go out to CNET.com, basically on our front page, there's a direct link to the live blog. There you see us. They're posting some of the pictures from outside of the event at the San Jose Convention Center. Some nice. Oh, look at that! Look at that vignette. Who put the vignette on that? That's not. Is that real? Is that natural or
James?
is that a real vignette or is it a faux
artsy.
vignette?
Look, there's a lens.
Is that an
flare and
Instagram filter or is that a
everything.
real
Look at the
pic?
sunlight in the background.
That is a real
Yeah.
pic. He doesn't play with
Framing
that.
of this is
That's
really-
beautiful. That's why they send him there, not me.
Oh, right. That's why.
That's exactly why. So you guys can follow along on our live blog. Just to also be clear, we have our pre-show like normal. Many of you know this. We have our post-show. During the actual keynote, Apple streams it on their own. They will not let us rebroadcast it. So we will kind of do our talk shop that complements it. You can hang with us. You can, if you want to.
Ask us questions.
Sometimes we take calls during the actual show when they get to some of the boring stuff.
Demos.
So we'll see. Well, then we don't.
I'll tweet us.
Our
then.
exec
Producer's
producer
saying
says.
we don't have a
Something.
phone person, so chat us, tweet us,
CNET Live us.
Something.
send us your videos on
Oh, yeah.
Twitter, and we'll play them back.
Yeah, just make sure
Yeah.
send us okay
could be
videos.
I mean,
We'll have to
Yeah.
get them first.
I'll let Sharon filter through those.
no,
She can vet those
no.
beforehand.
No.
Sharon can filter through
No,
the
those
videos.
goes, no.
I'm not gonna filter through those videos. All right, let's go to Memphis and talk to Luis. Luis, what's up? Welcome to CNET Live.
How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Welcome to the show. What's up? What's on your mind?
Wanted to ask about the Apple TV. I know early reports were stating that they were talking about a 4K model or going to another edition. Have you guys heard anything else about that since then?
I don't think we're going to see an Apple TV here today. I think we will see tvOS. I think we might see the actual Amazon TV app on the Apple
yes.
TV. A lot of people have been waiting for that. I don't expect us to see actual new hardware for the Apple TV yet. I could be wrong. Again, we don't always know everything,
I
although
mean,
we
what
do
do
know
we
everything.
want out of a new Apple TV?
Like you said, the 4K capability.
4K.
That's
Yeah.
kind of that would be the big
That would be the
upgrade.
hook.
Mhm.
So we'll see, but I don't think we'll see anything hardware-wise today. Amazon Prime supports 4K video. Netflix, certain shows support 4K. But if it's not there, it'll be sometime during their September event, typically when we actually see an Apple TV hardware
Look,
piece.
Apple goes for the mass market, though. Most people don't have 4K TVs, and I would argue that a lot of people don't really even know what it is or what the benefits are.
That's true. And also, people that do have 4K TVs, they're thinking about bandwidth, right?
Right.
And they're not necessarily going to be choosing a 4K stream over a regular 1080p if they don't have the internet to burn. So that's kind of another factor.
I do agree with you, ladies, to a certain extent. I do also feel, though, like out of any, obviously it's what 4K has arguably been out to consumer at least 2 or 3 years now. I think a lot more people now, 4K is just a feature on the TV that they're buying now. Also gamers. Gamers are really where everyone is getting 4K TVs because these consoles are supporting them. So I think now is the right time to at least throw out a 4K product from Apple. But we'll see. We'll see. You don't want a 4K.
Look,
I want a 4K TV today. I want 4K.
I want a 4K TV. However, TVs got so good like 5 or 6 years ago that anyone who bought a TV between 2000 and 2010, I don't think they're necessarily rushing to replace it, even if it's 4K.
Even if there's 3D on it.
Okay, but only if it comes with the
You want the
glasses.
Curved one?
Oh yeah,
Hey,
curved.
You need a curved
Beacham
TV?
3D. You want the D, right,
Hell no,
Steven?
I
Remember
don't
You
that
want the
one
D?
time?
I don't need the D.
Steven doesn't want the D. All right, 3D that is. Louis, sorry about that. That completely went in
Whoa.
a different direction. You still there with us, my man?
Yeah.
He's
So,
throwing up in his mouth a
How
little
about
bit.
even HDR? How about that? Do you think that's something that they'll go with? Because you see more of these different companies trying to load these devices up for future proofing, and Apple's still at 1080p.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're on the money. If we do see something, I expect it to be sometime in September when they do the Apple TV. The thing about it also is with HDR. Okay, what was that? The thing about it is with Apple TV, 4K and HDR. These are basically companion, features that are on TVs these days. So it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen today. But you're right on the money.
And HDR, there's not a lot of content, to be honest,
Games.
right now. Well, games
Yeah.
is the big one. But in terms of other content that you're going to be watching, HDR is very thin on the ground. And there's also different implementations of it. And it's hard for people to kind of understand what it is without seeing it. It's really hard to explain HDR. When you see it, you go side by side with a non-HDR and an HDR image. You go, oh, wow, that makes such a huge difference. But trying to explain it, it's like, well, it's a higher dynamic range, which means you're going to see basically more color bandwidth and you get more detail and, highlights and shadow detail. And people are like, I don't understand what that means.
And it's ironic because there's more awareness around 4K, but it's HDR, like you say, that actually has a visible effect for most people.
Yeah, you're really only gonna see the benefits in 4K if you have a TV that's bigger than 65 inches. Quite honestly,
Right.
So,
At least.
yeah, So, anyways, thanks so much for calling, Luis. We appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us at CNET Live. The thing is that I've been dying. I have a Panasonic Plasma from like 5-6 years ago. I've been dying to get a HDR 4K TV, but I'm not going to pull the trigger. They're way more affordable this year.
They're
I mean,
so
this year
affordable.
specifically, Vizio, TCL, they're putting out 4K HDR TVs that are around basically $1,000, $1,400.
And they're great.
Like you kind of got to jump on that.
Well,
I'm just
I
saying.
got a 4K last year for a.
Lexi.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, Miss Lexi. I didn't know.
It's 42 inches though, so it's.
That's a decent size.
Yo, bro, 4K benefits at 42 inches.
Yeah, well,
she knows. Like,
But it's HDR, but it's HDR.
It's not HDR.
Oh.
That's the thing. I'm just saying. I wish I waited because I could have forked out.
Yeah.
But then I decided no, it's way too much. So I thought, well, I'll get at least one of the features that I was interested
And
in.
it was
which is
look,
4K.
it was a TV you wanted anyways, and it happened to
needed
have
it.
4K.
Well,
That's the
Yeah.
point. That's the
thing.
point.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I love how Sharon was like, "Oh, and it had HDR." No, it didn't. It didn't.
Not for $350.
No, it
didn't.
didn't. It didn't. My bad. All right, Beach, can we throw the phone line up on the bottom again? If you guys and gals want to call, phone lines are still completely locked and loaded. Every time someone hangs up, someone calls in 1-888-900-CNET. You guys and gals are awesome. I do want to talk about a few things, just maybe some of the other rumblings or rumors. We haven't even talked about it directly. At this keynote, we are expecting and most likely, based on the rumors, seeing the first launch of the 10.5-inch iPad Pro. Right, this has been a product that we, at least in the rumor mills, thinner bezels, just slightly larger than the 9.7-inch iPad. We're hoping and possibly going to see that here at the keynote. Also, rumblings even as far back as a year ago talked about the Apple Pencil. Will we see a new Apple Pencil to complement the new Apple iPad Pro? I mean, we've done a music video about that we might show later in the show.
Will we?
It's very.
During
Have
a
you
slow
seen
moment.
this? Do you know about this at all?
I've
know?
heard about it.
Sharon has not seen it. Well, while we talk about and take other phone calls, I'll kindly ask Stephen Beecham to locate that video and in order to educate her about the finer things in Apple bike culture.
I really need a music video.
You really need one. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Let's see who's been waiting the longest right now. Oh my goodness, Braden from the NYC here at 40 minutes.
Oh, good on you.
Braden, what's up, man? Welcome to CNET Live.
Braden's
I was
napping.
wondering if you guys have a idea, as if I know that the Echo, they have the skills where you can play the games and you can enable all this other stuff. Do you think that this Apple speaker will do it?
I think that the thing about we have to remember about Apple is very controlling in who they allow to be their partners. Siri came out 6 years ago. They started just recently, like this year, adding third-party partners with Siri integration. Okay. And what did the Amazon Echo do? They made their API open, instantly available. People started building stuff. Like I found stuff like calm ocean sounds to go to sleep from a dude that just put it out there. Like the amazing ability to just open up the platform can lead to great things and sometimes not so great things. But also that accessibility helped the Echo to explode and just be more useful beyond the direct partnerships they had. I think Apple's going to be just as controlling on this. I don't expect them. Maybe they'll surprise us. Again, I always like to say that, to be an optimist, about like a MacBook Air with a Retina display.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll surprise us. Heart, please, right?
Well, I mean, it's WWDC. The whole point, I mean, traditionally, is to introduce something new, a platform or hardware or both, and allow the worldwide developers to prepare to develop for it. So, I mean, I agree. I think it's going to be much more restricted than Amazon, and you won't get random ocean sounds from a boat off the shore of Antarctica.
It helps me sleep. It helps me sleep.
For sure. But it's going to be $3.99 from the Apple Store.
Wait. The series, what's gonna be
What,
through
an
the
app? An app.
Oh,
Yeah.
399. Yeah, for sure.
Those ocean sounds will cost you,
It
man.
will cost me. I'm gonna stay on my Echo.
What is it?
sleep.
$100 billion has been spent.
Or they paid out $70 billion to developers, which means Apple themselves, based on their 70-30
Yep.
revenue split, made $30 billion off of apps up to this point since they launched the App Store. $70 billion. So
That's
they
so
created
big.
It's
a platform for people to make money.
Yeah, I mean, and Apple has said time and time again that their services business, I'm not sure if that includes the App Store and associated earnings, but it's definitely Apple Music, iCloud, things like that. If they spun that off onto its own company, it would be a Fortune 500 company, which is huge.
That's huge.
It's massive. So they've got a lot of revenue in these businesses, these other side businesses. So of course they want developers to be making sure that there are going to be applications. And to your point, Brian, let's be an optimist about it. Maybe
That smile was very half a optimist.
Please. Let's hope.
So yeah, Brayden, that's where it sounds like you're actually pretty curious about the Siri speaker, though, right?
Yeah, I am. I actually have an Amazon Echo now, and I have like Philips Hue smart lights.
Yep.
A lot of smart home stuff, and I was just interested in seeing if they're going to integrate all this.
We will see.
If a smart speaker comes out, like I would put money on Philips Hue being supported because Apple has sold those light bulbs in
Since
stores
the
for years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're all set.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for calling, Brayden. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
I think the other thing is that when we talk about developers conference, HomeKit was announced in 2014 is what I had last read. And they didn't really do too much with it.
No,
like, quite
nothing.
honestly, it was
Yeah.
it was just there. They're like, we're going to create a new thing to make using your devices easy. This is when smart home appliances or, light bulbs, light switches were just starting to come together. And everyone thought, I remember the headlines, Apple is going to make your home easier to use.
When?
They've never made it
When?
truly easy. It's better, but come on, again, they need this. If they wanted to make it better, they need the Siri speaker. That's a start.
Yeah.
But other companies are kind of ahead of them on that. That whole dream of an easily automated Apple home never came to be, and it still hasn't. And it may not right away, but we'll see what happens today. It's just one of those things where you look back now and like, oh, they had Siri in 2011. They had a HomeKit in 2014. Those are the two leading platforms right now that are the hottest spaces, and they didn't work on it. And part of it is that they are spread so thin. They have so many things going on. And let's be real, they put all their passion into the Apple Watch. That was a directive from Tim Cook, and it's a goodish product, but they ignored that other stuff, and now they're trying to play catch up a little bit. So we'll see if they can make another jump. It's a different company than it was before, so you have to also acknowledge that and not pretend like it's something that, it's not. But we're always hopeful.
Optimistic.
Optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic. Beecham, were we able to locate that iPad Pro video at all?
Oh, yes, I do have
We
it.
were able to locate it. Okay, so
wait, is this your iPad Pro song, right?
yes.
Okay.
So this is our executive producer says, please don't show
that.
I just want to preface this. Apple has been lacking
Just
on
a couple seconds.
Apple has been lacking on their commercials. Just not as inventive as I'd like on the iPad Pro. And so, yes, people are like, this is so old, but we've been sitting on this for a long time because I was hoping they'd announce an iPad Pro in like March, but they didn't. But let's just let it speak for itself.
Just for a few seconds.
It's the right one.
Speak for itself. It's the standalone one. Yes.
Oh.
AP.
No.
It's only 30 seconds. I have a Pro.
No.
I have an iPad.
Oh.
iPad Pro. I have a pencil. I have an Apple.
No, you don't.
Apple Pencil. iPad Pro.
Oh my
Apple
God.
Pencil. Apple Pencil, iPad Pro. Oh, the cringe is on 100.
That's going to be in my head throughout the entire keynote now.
Well,
and
I'm gonna have Steven keep that handy because when they announce the iPad Pro, we'll have a promotional video for it.
I'm speechless.
I'm sorry.
Brian.
I know the cringe was at pretty high. That's what we got paid for that. I just want to let you all know. For all y'all haters, we got paid for that. Okay.
That's all that matters.
No, it's not. I'm a sad soul. Okay, let's go over to the phone lines. Gabe in Orlando, welcome to CNET Live. Oh, he's probably listening to the video still, probably enjoying it. Everyone's been actually really good by turning down the volume and just waiting for the call. Gabe, what's up? Welcome to CNET Live. Hi.
My question for you is, I remember when the iPad Pro was first released, and I remember the Surface Pro was out, and they had Windows on it. So I was like, I wanted to know I want to know if ever, this is just your opinion, would Apple ever put, I don't know, even a different version, like of Mac OS X on an iPad Pro?
You're talking about the dream.
The big elusive dream that I believe Apple has hinted that it's not going to happen. I think that everyone kind of wants to know, is iOS and Mac OS going to come closer and closer together to be this one universal platform, a la Windows 10, and you know how you can basically transfer from one device to another. Docking, for example, like a Surface Book where it suddenly becomes a tablet and you have the full functionality of Windows 10, just slightly different interface tweaks. I don't think it's likely. I really don't think it's going to happen. I'm pretty sure that Apple has time and time again kind of given enough hints saying that they are two separate entities, and even though they might visually come together a little more, that I don't think they're going to merge into that universal OS that maybe we're looking for.
I think the other thing that really tells you all you need to know is that at the latest earnings report, Tim Cook outright said the iPad Pro is not a replacement for a laptop. And so by just throwing that quote out there, he clearly sees them as separate products. He clearly doesn't feel like that the iPad Pro deserves or should get some of the functionality that a laptop has, which is kind of blows your mind. Like, it do give us something. We saw earlier, for those of you who maybe tuned in later, that Apple leaked out a Files app specifically for the iPad Pro, which looks like some sort of file navigation system that we might see here announced today, but that's still not good enough. And like to Lexi's point and really to Tim Cook's point, I don't think they're ever going to do it, at least in the next 2 years. I mean, this is the chance to do it. The Surface Pro has been out for so long. I've been looking at that thing. I'm like, dude, give me some of that on the iPad Pro, just something.
Right.
And we got split screen drag. So they can either choose to surprise us and delight us, or they can choose to kind of have us go, really? You guys still haven't done much? We'll see. Maybe they'll find some middle ground, but cautiously optimistic is the keyword for today.
Okay. I also wanted to, because, I don't know. I thought maybe they would do, probably not likely, but do you think they would ever come out with, like, a touchscreen MacBook Pro?
Oh, boy.
Did you hear Stephen Beacham laugh in the back? Steven, talk to me about that.
Why.
No, they're totally against it. They see that the trackpad on their laptops, they see that as the touchscreen. And they've come out against it. Like, they don't see a future for that. So
You mean even though I constantly try to tap my screen?
my kids do too. They always try to scroll my screen, and that's the future of an Apple user, children who are all using touchscreens on a regular basis now.
But guys, that's what the touch bar is for.
God, Lex.
Don't get me started on that
Don't be
one.
so realistic and logical.
Ridiculous.
Wait, hold on. Do you have, where's in your thermos? Is the apple Kool-Aid in your thermos?
Oh, yeah, it's
I just
right
wanted
here.
to check.
It's right here,
I think there's actual apple Kool-Aid in her drink
That's
this morning.
apple juice, guys. Apple juice.
But the touch bar, I'm not going to poo-poo on it more than I have, because everyone gets mad when I get a little overly critical, but come on. I have not heard. Okay, for example, you just got this new MacBook Pro recently. You've had it for a few weeks. How much better or more frustrating, or where do you stand with this touch bar?
The touch bar is not as frustrating as I thought it would be. However, I do miss the function buttons, and I do miss the ability to easily tap through and change my volume or mute or whatever I want to do. However,
which is a very basic function.
It's a very basic functionality that I would hope that there would be an easy way to access. However, I've kind of been surprised in my day-to-day application usage. There hasn't really been a situation where the touch bar is kind of got it wrong, I have to say. Like, I'm in a music app and my volume and controls are up there. I'm doing some other kind of editing and then the right controls where I need them to be. I think it's honestly not as disjointed as I thought it was.
Just say you like it, Lexi.
I don't like it because it's not necessary. Because it's not needed, right?
Okay.
It doesn't. But because it's there, and now this is the only way.
Yeah, that's the only. You have to use it. You have to use
a touch bar now, so I have to live with this, and there's not going to be any going back. I don't think they're going to suddenly reverse and go, oh, you know what? We're going to put function buttons back in again.
My favorite part is the emojis.
No.
Yeah.
Here's. I'm just messing with you.
Hater.
No, I just think that, look, and also this comes from a different perspective. Some of us have these MacBook Pros for work, but I'm just telling you, if I had to put my own money down on it, I want a 15-inch new MacBook Pro with a physical bar on the top. I think the fact that it doesn't have haptic feedback on it is weird. It just feels weird without any type of haptic feedback when it's on a keyboard, which are used to some sort of tactile response. I think that's one way they could improve it, but again, it's disconcerting to know that, sure, I get why they put the touch bar only in the 15 and they let the 13 have one that doesn't have one. And I think it's like a $200 or $300 price difference. Yep. Give me one that's $300 that doesn't have a touch bar, but that would be an admission by Apple that it's not as necessary or desired by their consumer base.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's a lot of times where they aren't hearing. They're different. Like before, they used to tell us what we wanted before we knew we wanted it. I know it sounds very corny, but it is true. Now they're not even listening to what we want.
Right, you
that is a different
invented
Apple.
the touch screen,
That is
basically,
a different
Apple.
Yeah, totally.
Like, what? How can you do this to us?
That is a different that is a different type of company that isn't even listening to what their consumers want and still believing that we can show you what you want when everyone is saying not really. It's a different thinking.
But how much of this is concern that they don't want to cannibalize existing markets? Like bringing together the Mac and the iPad would essentially kill the iPad. So
okay, it's time to admit that Apple has a redundancy problem.
Yes.
We don't need all 3 or 4 or 5 product types. What we really need is basically like a Surface laptop.
Yeah, exactly. That has the best of all worlds, and then you can get rid of the iPad.
Yeah,
essentially.
I think that started how many 4 or 5 years ago? Yeah. Okay, I just want to put that down. Okay. Beecham, has the keynote started yet?
It has started. I mean, they're just doing like flyover shots of the crowd and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it hasn't really begun yet.
So what we'll wait and do, guys and gals, is that once the keynote starts, we're going to switch over. Again, we cannot stream that. If you guys want to go watch it somewhere else, we totally understand. We have our post show, which we will be taking calls. Let me just bang through some of these calls now. Once the keynote starts and our team is live blogging inside, we're going to transition with a little play-by-play and talk about it as the show is happening, but we won't be able to watch it directly. So let's just get into here. Thanks, Gabe, for calling. I did hang up on you because we were talking. Let's go to Chuck in Philly. What up, Chuck? Welcome to the show.
Actually, it's Jack, but thanks a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't write that.
That's okay. Son's going to college in August. He wants a MacBook Pro, and I hear the new ones are going to have the KB Lake chips.
Yes,
the question is, they probably won't be announced maybe today, but won't be out until who knows when, October, November, December. So do you wait for one, or you just buy what's currently available?
Here's what my take on it. I think you actually, not only do you wait for it, it's going to come sooner than you think. And the reason why is that Apple, people that were ordering recent new MacBook Pros, for some reason, their shipping dates got pushed out 2 weeks, and which is actually not normal. It's not like they're running out of it. And my hunch is that these new MacBook Pros with the KB Lake processor will most likely be available within the next month. So I think I would just sit tight, and no matter what, don't get the earlier gen, even if it, you said it's for someone who's going back to school?
Yeah, starting in late August, early.
Can I make a suggestion?
Perfect.
I would
please
suggest that you wait until you see benchmarks, because early benchmarks on PCs have shown that there isn't a significant improvement in battery life, nor does it significantly improve speed. So if that's the case on the MacBook, then what you might find yourself doing is waiting for that new laptop to come out and then getting the last version at a nice discount, whether it's refurbished or otherwise. I think that if the benchmarks are what they've shown for the PCs, you won't be that impressed by the KB Lake processor.
KB Lake will give you a little boost, but it's more about battery life.
Right.
You'll probably get about an hour, a little more than that, more battery life out of it. But, for me, I'm just of the school of thought if they just announce it, I'm going to get in general, I'm going to get the new one unless it's a touch bar MacBook Pro. I'd be like, give me one that doesn't have a touch bar on it.
Oh, interesting idea to save a few dollars, since my last year of college was $4,000, and my son's this year will be $72,000. So saving money.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You've won. You've won.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling. Appreciate it.
Wow.
Yeah, times have changed, y'all.
Dang, 72.
Woo! All right, let's go out to, if I have this correct, Eden in Alabama. What's up, Eden?
Oh my gosh, this has to be the best WWDC ever. I cannot believe I'm actually talking to you. Oh my gosh.
What up, my man? We're talking to
What
you.
is-
We're talking to you. You're not talking to us.
That
We're
is
talking to you.
amazing. I am currently watching the live stream on my iPhone. Yes, so you know it's real. WWDC 2017 has officially kicked off. But my question to you guys was, my friend Darrell, shout out to Darrell, is texting me as we speak, and we're having, a disagreement about a refresh of the iPod product line.
Wait, did you just...
Retro.
Are we going prehistoric age right now? Are we going back in
We are
time?
going prehistoric age. We really are. He says that they should just give up on he said they should just give up on the product line, just let it die.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm a old head fanatic of all Apple products, so I think there's still a market for them.
Well, Eden, how about this? I will tell you there's always a market for any Apple product, but if you want to go, Apple's not going to put any more money into the iPod. They're just going to keep the ones that they have. Really, eBay is going to be the next market for the iPods. And everything that we have plays music. Shout out to Darrell also, because he's your boy. But I think that if you're a fan of Apple products, sometimes you got to let things go too. Like,
if you love something, let it go.
and maybe
so
maybe it comes back to you on eBay. You know what I mean? It's like it might come back to you on eBay, bro. So he's like, so you know what? I'm stoked that you're here talking to us, and we're excited for WWDC. But iPods, Apple hasn't even included it in their earnings for at least the past 2 years now, I believe.
There you go.
So we probably won't see it. But thank you so much for calling, my man. We appreciate it. Thanks for being part of CNET Live.
I hope
all right?
you won that argument.
We'll see.
All right. Shout out to Darrell. Okay, so we're gonna jump over to the live blog right now. There are people that are on the phone lines. If you want to wait, and there's opportunities for us to get to you within the keynote, we will. But right now, we're gonna jump over to our live blog. You can see photos. If you want to jump over to Apple Stream, it's all good. Come back to us.
Or both. I like watching them side by
If you got it
side.
timed out, if you got it timed out, it's all good. We're hanging out with you. So right now, they're just showing a general video. It looks like some sort of a sketch. Scott Stein is describing it as bordering on a Silicon Valley feel, but it's showing up an Apple data center.
Looks like there's Russian words in the background, or some sort of like they're in a different country somewhere in this video.
По-русски.
I'm going to stay away from any Russia comments, period, for fear of any kind of backlash, for fear of Stephen Beacham talking about specific type of news. Fake news.
This is all real news.
This is all real.
All right.
So I think they're playing up on a fun thing with a world with no apps, and why apps are important,
The apps are shutting down.
and why
currently.
WWDC is here for you and for the apps.
What would we do without apps?
That's true. Oh,
I would be okay with that. I would enjoy my life.
Well,
how would you even get from point A to point B, Brian?
I don't. I mean, how do we
We've been
live without?
printing up pieces of paper.
Yeah.
You mean like this? Like this? Oh yeah.
Remember MapQuest?
While they're playing this promo video, real quick before they start the keynote, our Keynote Bingo starts now. So if you see or hear them say any of these terms or talk about them, we have great ones like it's always a classic. Craig Federighi, Air Force One, Phil Schiller's voice cracking. The word tremendous, someone taking a picture with their iPad, just things like that. Dark mode, a rumored thing in iOS 11. So if you want to participate, once you get 5 in a row, any direction, screen cap it and send it to us, #CNET Live, and we've got gifts for you, spec cases and Belkin lightning cables. We got 14 prizes, so y'all could be winners. And I better not see this stuff on eBay. I'm going to track you down.
Oh, my gosh.
I will hunt you down. All right, it looks like Tim is on stage and says, welcome to WWDC. It's great to be back in San Jose, the heart of Silicon Valley, and right down the street from Apple and our new campus. Shar Tibkin, our reporter on site, one of our many reporters, says it's been 15 years since WWDC has been in San Jose. This is going to be, according to Cook, the best and biggest WWDC ever.
Are we going to get a one more thing? That would be fun.
They've killed that, but sometimes I think
bringing it back.
Did they do it with
Optimus, right?
They did it one time. Yeah, they did it with the
watch.
watch. You're right. They did it with the
That was
watch.
nice.
It was like I didn't see that one coming.
Remember, this is the Optimus WWDC, right? So we gotta hope. We gotta hope for something.
Cautiously optimistic, right?
Oh, that's right. Cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously. So yeah, they're setting up the stage here. I'm still, like I said before earlier, ladies, I'm super excited about this WWDC. I think we could see this is Apple's chance to actually wow us one of the few times.
It's a huge potential here, and I hope that they really step up to the mark and something exciting happens.
Yeah.
That is out of the ordinary. That is something that the rumors weren't pointing to, that it's a product that truly makes us go, yeah, okay, Apple is actually going to be innovating rather than just following and making a very good product, but something that is, 2-3 years behind the competition. So crossing my fingers that there's going to be something good and something exciting here.
Well, they did say biggest and best, so.
It's always this is at one of the bingo spots. Actually, it does not occupy Tim Cook. Mark off Tim Cook on your bingo card.
Do you do X?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You could do swirly sign.
He didn't say good morning though.
He didn't. I know that screwed me up.
That was like an expected one.
Maybe someone else might say good morning, but every keynote he has said good morning. They're talking about just how many developers are registered for WWDC. 16 million registered developers. Of those 16 million, 5,300 attendees. there's a lottery system to actually even get into WWDC. So there's never a guarantee. I do also want to remind you that the center spot here, which is a free spot on our bingo card, is Warriors Up 2-0.
So
make sure you mark that.
One.
Warriors Up 2-0, just in case you didn't hear that. Warriors up 2-0.
2-0.
So they always start with, I always find that Apple starts with the heartwarming story when they open the keynote or anything. And this time it turns out that there is a 10-year-old coder in the audience who started coding when he was 6, and he already has 5 apps in the App Store.
Wow.
What am I doing?
What are we doing with our lives right now?
I don't know. I've wasted it. I was done. Wasted, guys. My goodness.
Put a skunk streak in my hair and some kids developing 5 apps.
My kids are collecting snails outside.
FM. Dude, honestly, your kids are badass because they're interacting with nature.
Yeah. I'm trying to get them to stop killing animals.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
You're all kidding. Joke. Not totally not true. They're totally not killing snails. Totally not true.
They're just smushing
They collect them now.
All right. Tim Cook is transitioning over and saying, let's turn our attention to 4 incredible platforms.
All right.
Each is uniquely expressed and designed for the best experiences for where they work. Flash up on the screen: tvOS, watchOS, macOS, or macOS.
Watchos,
TiVos, iOS. He says we keep pushing the platforms forward. That's why developer conference is so important. We have a lot to talk about today, and I do mean a lot. 6 important announcements to share with you this morning.
Dang.
We can already cross off tvOS, watchOS on the bingo card, guys.
You're right. Yeah, we can. We can. Bingo, baby.
Can we count off macOS 10.13 though?
Which one you said? watchOS?
watchOS, tvOS. We got that marked off.
Ooh, I'm close. I got 2 left.
Wow.
Don't even tell me.
You already have a winner.
Come on, Amazon Video, Apple TV app. Say that.
Hey, you know what? The tvOS is their first thing they're doing right now. They might see it.
Here we go.
We just launched the support from a handful of video channels. There's now 50 partners integrated into the TV app. These are Tim Cook's words on stage. Man, Beach, if you win this right out the gate, again, hashtag CNET Live with your winning card. Yeah, I might kiss you, but
I'll donate my prize.
Amazon is coming to the TV app and all Apple TVs.
Hey,
did you literally get 5 in a row already, bro?
Not yet. Let's see. Unless
you're fine.
10.5-inch iPad Pro is what I need to win.
Ooh, well, that's in iOS. That's at the very end of the keynote, man.
Oh, man.
Good luck with that. That's not going to happen. So Prime Video provides a wealth of great content, some great original content like Transparent, Mozart in the Jungle, and so much more. We're pleased to welcome Amazon to Apple TV. This has been one of the big holes, and the story was that basically Jeff Bezos and Tim Cook sat down in a room and just like, let's just do this damn thing. Grinded it out from the top, and now we have Amazon on the Apple TV. That was reported by Recode maybe about a few weeks ago. He's already jumping over He's all, you'll hear a lot more about tvOS later this year. Sorry, y'all. That's
Wait,
it.
what?
Let's talk about.
They are keeping it
Let's
quick.
talk about the Apple Watch.
Oh my
Top
gosh.
headlines. Let's do this.
All right. Like, yeah, that was it. tvOS.
So
Number one selling smartwatch by
Yeah.
far. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they never release sales figures, so we just have to take their word for it.
I think that
Which we can.
I see a lot more Apple Watches
Yeah,
than I
no,
did
that's
before.
true. That's a
I
fair
would.
point.
I think once they got to the second gen and the first gen was so much cheaper, a lot more people bought them for Black Friday and stuff like that. Tim Cook is saying Apple Watch is designed to help you live a healthier life. We know there's a lot of stories of Apple really beefing up their team, potentially having a way for the sensors in the future Apple Watch designs to incorporate being able to measure blood sugar levels and more. I don't think we'll see that today because that could be its own event. I could be wrong, but they are going to tout about watchOS. And last year's WWDC, watchOS significantly changed to a version of the OS that I felt was appropriate to it. It was kind of an admission that their first run was a little misguided and just not up to snuff. I do like watchOS. Are we at
WatchOS
3? Yeah, we're at WatchOS 3.
Cuatro now.
Sí, es cuatro, mijo.
Let's start with Apple Watch faces. They're going to quick ways to glance at information. So new watch faces coming. Here we go. The new watch. There will be a new watch face powered by Siri intelligence.
Okay, this is what we're hoping for and talking about. Is that predictive artificial intelligence that hopefully they take beyond the watch. I know they've tried to introduce it to the iPhone, but I don't. Have you guys noticed the proactive Siri feature?
I've
much?
only noticed
Oh,
it
you mean in
with-
your notifications?
Yeah, with
Yeah, no.
directions.
Right.
Like, you should leave now for your next meeting.
No,
that
thanks.
occurs
Google
at-
Maps
it's
have been-
because there's heavy traffic.
Right.
But it's now just a notification rather than necessarily something that I actively have to search for.
And that's yeah.
I mean, it's useful. However, when I'm clearly not in the vicinity, it's not intelligent about it. I'm not in the vicinity of where my meeting is. I'm not in my usual space. For example, I'm at the airport and it's like, you should head to the office now. You have a meeting. I'm like, I'm nowhere near the office. I'm not where I normally am this time of day, every day. Maybe don't give me that notification because I'm not going to head to the office for that meeting.
Right.
I'm missing that one.
Right.
Glanceable information has been a big kind of hole in Apple's operating system. We know that Google has, they know a lot about us and they've kind of mastered that, but they're showing off screenshots of how as your schedule goes along, this glanceable information will show up. Of course, they're throwing in their little breathe app, like, hey, take a minute to breathe. It's like, yo, show me where I need to
Okay.
go. Thanks.
My brain does that for me already.
Hey, we're talking about meditation, Beecham. With more meditation and attitude like that wouldn't
I
exist.
do like the sunset, though, notification. It tells you when the sun's going down.
Oh,
I
thank
could use
God.
that for golf, you know.
Oh yeah.
It only matters when it matters to you, right? It only matters.
If I know when the sun's going to go down in my golf round, that's good.
Throughout the day, whenever you raise your wrist, the face will dynamically update with information for you. There's a kaleidoscope watch face with a trippy psychedelic animation that might be even more psychedelic depending on what you're doing that night.
It's like a kaleidoscope.
Really innovative. I mean, I'm wondering how this is going to affect battery life. All these proactive notifications.
Well, to me, it's like when you lifted up your Apple Watch and you had the cool jellyfish. Like, I was totally okay with that. I was like,
You're like, I'll sacrifice
I'm
some
okay with
battery
the
life.
jellyfish because it looks dope, right? So,
Yeah.
and it
now
didn't
you
affect
can
it too
have
much.
Toy Story characters.
Yes, more animated watch faces, right?
Yep.
They
Isn't
why
that
don't?
like so 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, when was the last
And
Toy Story movie?
quite honestly,
know.
this is a missed opportunity. They should have been putting out
come
Cars
on.
faces. Cars the movie is coming
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
in
it's a
July.
big missed opportunity.
Come, you guys,
so
you
excited
need
for
a new marketing director? Are you tired of Phil Schiller's voice cracking all the time?
Are you tired?
Come out here, roll out with CNET Live. All right, let's just do this already. They want to talk about activity, one of the most frequently used apps on the watch. You might start off each day with some inspiration. They're going to introduce monthly challenges in the activity watch to motivate you. They're all achievable because they're based on your real history. So this is, again, kind of proactive intelligence. They're kind of showing this in two ways, glanceable information as well as within the activity app. So a step in the right direction. I think this is subtle stuff that you'll actually end up enjoying, but not be like, I got this Apple Watch for its predictive intelligence. You know, it's one of those things that should just be there.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Are you guys using Apple devices in any way to motivate you to be more fit, or is it just more of a companion to how you live your life?
Well, I don't own an Apple Watch. I think if I did have an Apple Watch, I might be more motivated to use it as a tool to help workouts, to help actually motivate me in that respect. At the moment, I don't use my iPhone for that either. So I mean, only because it's bulky, and when I'm trying to run or something with it, it's not really something that I want to be carrying and constantly looking at and to track my workout goals. If I had a watch, perhaps maybe I would do that, and I wouldn't have the need to carry the phone at all.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to exercise with a tool. I just want it as my music machine, right?
Yeah.
Just something to listen to music through, and that's all I want to use it for, and maybe a timer. And that's it. I don't really want it to motivate me for my workout goals and just be like, get up, you're lazy. Like, I don't need the phone or the watch to tell me that. I can just say that to myself anyway. Like, right, exactly.
Sharon, has it helped you or motivated you to be like in the long run, not even just like, after week 1?
No, I tried taking it to the gym a few times, and it was just so much work. And I was that person, like, for instance, I took it once into a class, and I was that person who was like, and it's embarrassing. B, it just doesn't really add. I'm like, I'm doing all of this work, distracting myself, getting out of my headspace, not burning as much, just so that I can track it. To what end? I'm already doing the work.
Yep.
So what's the real benefit? I'm not sure. It sounds like Apple right now is trying to address some of that. I also felt like it just wasn't matching. The results weren't matching with what I did.
Yeah.
Not necessarily calories, because that's so honestly hard to measure. It's going to take a long time before we can actually accurately measure calorie burn. But even the time, the heart rate, it felt truly inaccurate, which is ridiculous.
No, I agree. Even though they did a test out in like UCSF about how the Apple Watch has some of the most accurate heart rate sensing, from a step standpoint, from a movement standpoint, it's highly inaccurate. I've taken it on hikes. I wore a Fitbit on the same wrist. I look at the distance that this hike is supposed to be.
Yeah.
The Fitbit will be like within 0.1 of a mile. The Apple Watch will be like a mile off,
Yeah.
And so I don't trust it as much.
Right.
And I know that there's supposed to be a way, there's a way to condition it to learn your steps. Like, it shouldn't even need that.
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to be smart enough to be able to do that. So, look, the whole Apple Watch platform that they're talking about here with health and motivation, they're talking about how not only can it incorporate workouts, it'll be able to talk to some of the fitness equipment at your gym back and forth, like data exchange between the two to show your readout on the screens of the workout fitness equipment, as well as the phone. As well as the watch. I know people do desire that, but I've never felt personally that, and this is me personally, that the Apple Watch has actually made me work out more. Yeah. I think its biggest effect is people that are unaware of how inactive they are. It might motivate them to walk a little more, but not. It's a companion for people that already work out. People say, "Oh yeah, I like that," if you're already there, but it hasn't been like, I've never seen my Apple Watch and said, "Oh, I should go work out today."
Right.
It's never been. It's never happened to me.
It's not inspiring.
It's never happened. I mean,
it's funny what Sharon said. Like, I see people like that at the gym, and they're busy. They're busy with their phones, and like they have like graphs and like paperwork and stuff. I'm just sitting there lifting, and I'm like, oh, like they're too busy over there. So it's just kind of funny.
They're also showing off a new dock for the Apple Watch that can basically sit vertically as well, from what I believe. What we're looking at here. They're showing a demo, obviously, of some of the functionality that they're talking about. They're showing a real live demo, so the activity coaching. But from what I read here, it looks like there's a new dock.
Another new dock.
Oh, sorry. A new dock, meaning there's the dock that was landscape where you swipe through apps.
Yeah. Right.
A new dock functionality on the phone.
Right, not a charging dock.
Not a physical dock.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. That's what happens when we don't actually watch the keynote.
Oh, we have a bingo. Someone got a bingo.
Someone let us know on the bingo.
Look on CNET Live. Lee.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this pulled up for you guys, just so we can.
Shout out to Lee Waterman.
Hashtag
looks
CNET
like,
Live.
looks
Is this
like
our first
got a
winner chicken
bingo.
dinner?
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay, hold on. Let me scroll down here to most. Sorry, I'm getting there.
We got a diagonal one from top right to
Search
bottom
filter.
left.
Where's the before it used to be like most recent?
Oh, this is because Twitter's changed it to the ones that they want you to see first.
Seriously.
As
So
TweetDeck,
lame.
get onto TweetDeck, and it's sequential.
Okay, well,
But it looks like we have a winner.
I put in
Number one.
hashtag CNET Live, and I used to be able to just be like most recent.
Yeah. Well, Lee's
I
actually
feel
tagged you in it
lame.
too. Look
No
at your
wonder Twitter's not
notifications.
making money.
Okay. Oh, so did he tag Brian Tong
Yep,
on it?
mhm.
Okay, let's go here. All right, if you guys really care about this and you want to see your board on the big screen, just do at Brian Tong.
Yeah.
Lee Waterman, congratulations. You are our first winner. I'm going to pick out this really cool pink
Oh, I
case
missed
for
Apple
you
Music.
with flowers. I'm just kidding. We'll figure it out, okay? I'll mark all that. But the bingo card is real. Bingo card is real here at CNET Live.
Yeah, music. Woohoo.
I'm going to start just... People might be hurting themselves if they watch that.
All right.
All right,
Did
so...
someone say good morning? I don't know.
I never heard it. Did someone say good morning? Did someone say they say good morning? I never heard that. Did he say...
This is a trust system.
Ooh, there's this...
Yeah, we have to trust.
There was the best we've ever...
There could have been. There's been like 4 people on stage.
It's kind of... See, the thing is that there's kind of sometimes loose interpretations.
Fair.
Right?
Like, yeah.
But good morning, we didn't hear it.
No, well, we didn't. We wouldn't.
Yeah, that's
We
fine.
wouldn't be
I'm
able
gonna-
to.
I'm gonna
You know
believe
what?
them.
We trust. We trust.
That's fine. It's fine.
So they're talking about WatchOS 4 is a great update. It'll be available in fall. Tim Cook is coming up on stage. The developer preview is available today. It'll be a free upgrade for everyone across all watches this fall. Bottom line, WatchOS 4 gets a little smarter, more predictive, and helps you with activity stuff. But that's it. Nothing that would compel you to be like,
What about the Toy Story watch faces?
Oh,
Come
right.
on,
Run
let's
to the
not
store,
forget.
people.
Let's not forget.
the headline was buried in there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Really apologize, guys and gals.
All right.
All right, the Mac. It looks like the Mac is next up.
Finally, they're jamming through this stuff, which
Oh,
means
yeah.
you
There's
know why? It's
something
because there's a lot of
big.
hardware.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a lot of hardware.
a lot of stuff coming.
Yeah, so
Yep.
in kind of in a weird way, it probably might be a little disappointing if they don't focus enough on, or if there's not enough software stuff.
I think they might
Or
be saving a
connected.
good chunk of time for something new.
Yeah.
You went and saved the best for last. That's a great song, by the way, Vanessa Williams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I don't know.
Keep jamming out.
That's okay.
Craig Federighi's on stage now.
Craig, wait, Hair Force One.
Hair Force One.
Mark it on your
He
bingo
on
card. Hair Force
stage.
One.
He on stage.
Let's
Did they
talk
say
about.
MacBook yet?
Not yet. They didn't say.
He said, yeah, Mac.
Craig
Does that count?
Federighi, yeah, he said, let's talk about our current release of Mac OS Sierra, or what we like to call MacOS Sierra.
I need like a classical guitar go.
That's true. We need that.
You know, you mean classical or stereotypical? It's like, I mean, depends.
Well, that's a
on-
classic. It's a
classical
classical
guitar.
guitar.
Sorry,
It's
it
a
makes
type of
sense.
guitar.
Classical
True. I just don't want all my peeps watching me like, that's racist.
No.
That's racist.
Oh, the new macOS. macOS is called High Sierra.
No,
it's
even
not.
better.
No,
Even
it's
better.
not. It's not. It's
MacOS
Oh,
High Sierra.
no, this can't be. Really? High
Is
Sierra.
that real for real?
High Sierra. There's a photo. It's,
Oh,
it's
yeah, you're
official.
I'm telling you,
High
it's right.
Sierra.
MacOS
Hi.
High Sierra.
This is
Hang on.
amazing.
Oh, this is.
I
this is-
actually love it.
This is a okay.
Cool.
So Shara's just tweeted this quote. We talked to the guys and we said this might be misconstrued, but they assured us this name
This
is
is what I'm
fully
saying.
baked.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
Fully baked.
This
Well
is so very
done.
California.
Well,
Wow.
it's so California.
It's
Honestly.
legalized this.
Is
year,
Apple going to
last
introduce
year.
an Apple vape today?
Yes, it's a smart
That's what's
vape
coming
pen.
with Siri.
Finally,
All our smart vapors out there represented. They're like, yes, no.
it's an Apple Pencil vape
Yeah.
pen.
Yeah. Ooh. Apple, pencil vape pen. Beach was like, yeah.
Oh,
IP. Okay, yeah. We save that for.
We're good. We're good.
We're getting crazy here already. We're getting loopy.
Wow.
So also by saying macOS High Sierra, it's not a significant upgrade, right? This is going to be even smaller incremental stuff. You won't see any major new revamps of features or UI. So that also kind of indicates that. They're going to start off a little bit with Safari.
Safari.
So can I talk right now?
But Safari is a serene browsing experience.
Did they really say that?
Oh, yeah, it's
good
a quote.
Lord.
Serene. We should have had that on the bingo card.
I'm
serene.
sorry, I didn't think they were
Serene
that
experience.
corny to use the word serene in a keynote describing
Courage.
Safari.
Courage and serenity.
Yeah.
Oh, courage.
Serenity now.
It's like the Breathe app. It's going
Here
to
we
pop up
go.
and be like serene.
This is the best feature here. We now have autoplay blocking.
Ooh, yeah, that's coming to Firefox too.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a fan of that.
Firefox
I want to keep my
wonder-
job. I want to keep my job, but I'm a fan of that.
I wonder how it works. Can you opt in if you're into that thing? I would
It might be
argue
a
that
plugin or
It's just check mark, check mark.
right. It's
in the
hopefully
settings.
it's a check mark because I think that people are actually getting used to autoplaying videos. Although I understand that for your data connection, it's bad news bears.
I'm gonna say I ain't.
Not even on Facebook. Facebook,
yeah, that's
Facebook
really
is different. I
is
expect it on
popularized that.
Facebook, but it's
Right.
just like I'm not the biggest fan. Let's just put it that way. But I get it. And you know what? Here's the thing. Advertisers are going to have to be more creative now as more autoplay blockers there.
Yeah.
Or guess what? Just make awesome content so people don't care
Very true.
about the
That's all
ad
that
aspect.
matters.
Like, seriously.
That's all that
That's how
matters.
you do it.
Like the Apple Pen video. That should autoplay.
I think
Good
we
one.
might, if we haven't already lost half of our viewers, we might if we autoplay that crap. But I love making it.
So
We might.
We
They
actually have more viewers now than we had.
Oh,
before.
hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
You're like, oh no, it just
Oh,
it just
that's a
dropped down.
down slope. No,
Yeah,
no,
it,
no. I'm
it just
kidding.
ticked down when they showed Brian's face again.
Oh.
Claps about Mac OS are a little half-hearted here, according to Shar Tipkin, who's inside the room. In addition to talking about Safari, there's privacy, but your browsing history is your own. So it's not about blocking ads. The web behaves like it always has. Craig Federighi is really just trying to sell us on this intelligent tracking prevention.
You know, a lot of people use the desktop, the native Mail app for Mac. So it sounds like there are a lot of welcome, improvements here, like the split view with the compose window on the right. That's very convenient.
Oh, that's interesting. Instead of it popping up on top.
Yeah. All right, that's.
Yeah.
They also said storage space required for mail up to 35% less. They're improving faces here. This looks like they're transitioning over to photos. They're going through this pretty fast.
Yeah.
Facial recognition in Apple's Photos app. They've improved that. When you put efforts into naming people, it's now synchronized automatically across your devices.
That's interesting.
Synchronicity.
It's coming
What were you gonna
together.
say?
Convergence. I want to see how effective this is because Apple Photos traditionally has been really bad at facial recognition. It has at least 3 instances of me as separate people.
Wow.
So it has me with no glasses, me with sunglasses, and me with glasses.
Wait.
And,
Are you sure?
And now I'm 3 different people.
Are you sure the phone is just not detecting that you exist in the multiverse?
Well, it's
That's
interesting because in this picture of the people, there's a girl like blowing a bubble, like a with bubble gum. Like, how can it tell? How can it read her face based on with the bubble in front of her?
The eyes, man. Oh wait, where's the
Beach
bubble?
him.
The eyes. The eyes.
Why are you even questioning Apple Faces technology? Why would you question
It's
that?
just amazing that they would put that.
Why
picture
would you
Facebook is
question that?
really, really good at it.
Oh my God, guys.
What?
Printed photo books.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, Google did this year.
Hold
at
up,
I/O.
hold up.
Whoa.
I need to
Whoa,
rewind.
whoa.
I need you to rewind that Apple did that with iPhoto
Oh yes.
back in maybe arguably 2007.
But I think
I need a donut.
2017 is the resurgence of photo books, guys, because Google's done it, and now Apple's like, guess what we
Hey,
got?
everything is cyclical.
It
like
is.
pegged pants, Z Cavaricis. They're
Well,
coming
there's
back.
a startup.
I got you, bro. I got you. Z Cavarici
That's
coming
awesome,
back.
man.
Peg your pants.
There's a startup called Chatbooks that I would say has brought back the printed photo book. You laugh, but they have like $40 million in funding, man.
No,
I'm
there's
still laughing at Z Cavarici.
Oh, I was like, what? There's nothing funny about Chatbooks.
Just look him up. Z Cavarici was like
I don't know who
insane.
that is.
It was like these
It was like in the 90s.
styled, like baggy / tapered pants that everyone wanted.
Oh, I want them.
So funny.
And then the trend might have lasted a year when you were like in 5th
Yeah.
or 6th grade.
Like harem?
But it was
Okay,
like
whatever.
it was a big deal. 64-bit top to bottom security with built-in crash protection, native encryption, instant file, and directory cloning. They're just breaking down how ultra-responsive it is. This is stuff that's happening, obviously, in the background. I really find it interesting that the thing that I didn't like when Google announced photo books recently is that it was so impersonal. Like, oh, the algorithm does it all for you. And
I
it's
think
like
you can edit it before you go to final print.
You can, but like basically with the press of the button, it made the photo book. And I don't know. I'm sorry. There's a part of me that likes to like choose the photos myself. Even know. I mean, how are you? Are you all about the? Are you about the impersonal automation, Sharon?
Yes, I am, because I still haven't printed not a single wedding photo from 3 years ago.
Oh.
If Google was like, I got this, I would buy 10 different books.
Well, they're saying they got it.
Got this.
Well, maybe you should do your first my wedding.
I'm a millennial, Brian. I'm a millennial.
No.
Yeah, I need it all done for me. Thanks.
It's in the cloud. It's in the cloud, Sharon. Don't worry about it. It's in the cloud. H.265 high efficiency video coding will also be a part of this. That's going to help with graphics, overall graphics GPU performance. API for high performance graphics is Metal. They introduced that a while ago, a few WWDCs as well. But H.256 new standard saves up to 40% with better compression. Nice. And this is also part of HD to 4K to 4K HDR. You need better compression to handle these large files, as well as for your video editors. I'm wondering what we'll see we won't see any Mac Pro stuff here. I mean, nothing tells us that we will, but Mac Pro either end of the year or early next year, since they just started it.
Yeah.
They decided to just start that project earlier this year. It's so sad. So yeah, the newest Macs, he says, they didn't define which ones yet, get the hardware acceleration for new H.265 videos. It'll be interesting to see that. Their new version of Metal 2, graphics engine, great optimizations, tremendous APIs, 10 times better draw call throughput.
Thank God.
It's it's always interesting though, no matter what. Yeah,
it's there for the developers. That one. Let's put it that way.
The Mac will never be a go-to gaming platform, and they, it's okay.
They know that.
Yeah, they know that.
And it's okay. It's all right.
It's got StarCraft on it. They brought back StarCraft. That was badass.
We got a couple more bingos. I
do?
believe. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I believe we got a few. There's
how are you seeing all these new ones? And I'm just getting all the
on TweetDeck.
Oh, you got your TweetDeck.
My TweetDeck open.
There you go.
We've got Oliver Van Wincoop.
Are they putting my
no, they're not,
so they
guys.
Guys,
if you want, ping Brian.
If you want to be a part of the big show, you got to put at Brian's song on it so we can show it off. I got Jimmy Schaefer up in here.
We got Seth, Jacob Asadi. We got Hamza Juza. We got
Sistaro. Got the bingo.
We got
I'm
Zach
I'm just copying people's
Yeah, here. I'll use that as a reference. Sharon.
iOS 11, really?
They didn't do iOS 11 yet. They said iOS, but not iOS 11. That is
that didn't count towards their bingo win, though.
Oh,
you're right.
Matter? Wait.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It wasn't part of the 5 across. Wow, Steven really getting specific there.
Yeah, rules are rules, baby.
You're looking out. Yeah. You're looking out for Sistaro, and he thanks you.
Did someone take a picture with the iPad? Someone has to police this.
We need to learn.
Someone needs to police this, for real.
All right, all I need is augmented reality. Cool. So I'm not gonna win.
Oh, I've kind of lost track of
Dan Ackerman makes a great point. Remember, VR and AR or mixed reality apps and app development require very, very heavy-duty GPU power, and it's an area that Apple is getting very seriously into. They've built out an entire team. They have hundreds of engineers working on their new AR platform, which we might hear some about, but not in depth. There's been plenty of stories that Apple is working on some sort of an AR type of glasses, but it's still a ways out. So for them to be competitive with what is happening and how things are changing, because look, it's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen in 3 years. It might happen in 3 years, but there's going to be a point where the phone is, we won't even need our phones. Exactly. There will be a point. Not anytime soon, but whether it's our watch or our glasses, that'll be the new phone. Yeah. There's going to be a point where, or we implant it into our face.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's going to take a while for glasses to become mainstream, really. And it's going to be acceptable because we saw the backlash against Google Glass Spectacles, they didn't sell that many at all. They sold at less than 100,000 units.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, so that's what the earnings report said.
Sad.
It is sad. Well, I mean, their marketing campaign really shot them in the foot. They made a lot of hype, but then it made them really difficult to access, obviously.
Yes.
And so when the company went public and the IPO came out, they had sales figures, and then in like the last 2 quarters, basically since they were tracking sales, it was less than 100,000. It was like 96,000 or something.
Hey, bro, can you go to my screen real quick here, Steve?
Yep.
The guy corner from NYC said, "Did Brian Tong really bring up Z Cavarici?"
Wait a minute. Those are cute.
Yes.
I would wear the ones in the middle.
I'm taking you back. I'm taking you back.
That's so funny, man.
Those are back, man. They are. Everything's coming back.
I told you, cyclical. Peg yo pants.
All right. High Sierra available today for developers. Public beta in June.
You know what's also interesting though about the oh no, my brain literally just farted. Oh, the augmented reality glasses.
Yeah.
Thanks for the fart sound effect. I appreciate that. It sounds kooky, but if there's any space where Apple can surprise us, like you said, Google Glass looked horrible, and they were trying to sell a beta product, which was not Google learning from their mistakes. Snapchat glasses not so great. Let's say in 2 years, Apple drops an actual pair of glasses that not only look stylish but can do things we care about. They might be that might be their next thing. Like I could see it, right? How things have lined up. No one's really mastered it yet. HoloLens, awesome, but still too big. HoloLens. Magically, we don't know where they're really at with that. Maybe that's looking down the line somewhere that Apple could actually make a dent and be like, oh,
exactly.
They got us back again.
And
I don't know, but I'm saying just how things are lined up.
Yeah, totally. And there's a lot of other companies doing AR glasses that are really quite exciting and quite good. But these are really for applications that are industrial. They're used in governments, and they're not useful for consumers at all. Like you're not going to drop $3,500 on a pair of AR glasses that you can't do anything with because there's no consumer applications.
Right.
So Apple could possibly get there.
Yeah, while we're hanging out and talking, it looks like they're talking about new hardware for the iMac. They're jumping over to Macs. This is we did not expect to see iMacs itself, but they're going to be putting in the best Mac displays ever, 500 nits, measure brightness, 43% brighter, 10-bit dithering, 1 billion colors. They will be loaded with the 7th gen Intel Core Kaby Lake processors. This is a lot of people asked about iMacs, and we honestly didn't expect to see them here today. But Kaby Lake is coming to the iMac family. The 21.5 inch will get up to 32 gigs. Larger size can have up to 64 gigs of memory. Fusion drive is standard on all configurations, and solid state drive options up to 50% faster and 2 terabytes. Ooh, iMac lovers are gonna love this.
That's gonna be
love this.
And look, USB ports at the back, not USB-C.
Or they have both.
I mean,
they have both.
They have both. But they're not going exclusively USB-C, which is interesting to see.
Good.
Is an interesting thing to USB-C. You guys still tuning in? Okay, just checking it out.
We're just checking. We're still here.
Still there?
Oh, we don't have an iMac square.
I didn't. It literally wasn't on the radar, which is great. That is great. Did we talk about surprises?
Yeah,
we're gonna surprise you. And they're talking about the faster graphics, up to 80% faster performance. The entry-level iMac will get an Intel Iris Plus graphics chip. Let's see what they talk about with the higher-end one. There's a 21.5-inch iMac with a Retina 4K display. It's also going to be moving over to discrete graphics.
Nice.
AMD Radeon Pro. There's a typo. It's Radeon, not radio, but they're typing away fast. Radeon Pro 555 and 560. New system is 3 times faster graphics, and lastly, their 27-inch iMac, Radeon Pro 570 and 575.
Yeah.
Up to 8 gigs of VRAM, 5K display as usual on the large screen 27-inch iMac.
And
this is great.
Yeah, the discrete graphics is a big deal.
Yes,
and also
on an iMac.
Yeah, on an iMac is a huge deal. And also talking about the direct quote is a great platform for VR content creation.
Uh-oh.
Apple's talking about virtual reality.
Picture with the is that an Oculus next to it or what VR?
A Vive.
Aviva.
Industrial Light and Magic's John Knoll is coming to stage to talk about how the power of the new iMac will aid in this process. He says, "I've always done my art and development on a Mac."
Okay.
This is interesting because, right now people for the most part, people aren't using Macs for this type of production
Mhm.
content. I don't know if they're too late in the game where you're going to see people. I know they use Macs for, for design, for graphics, even the graphics and for the video games, but actual building VR stuff other than, you're wrapping up your 360 videos and whatnot. It's not like the professional industry is saying the Mac is the platform to choose for VR content creation. I haven't heard that yet.
No, it's right up there with Macs not being the best platform for playing games.
Yep.
Yeah.
But is there a correlation between now if Macs can handle VR production, does this also mean that they may be able to handle games a little bit better than they have?
True.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends if developers
Exactly.
jump on board.
Jump on board. That's true. Well, the discrete graphics is definitely going to help a lot there, and we're seeing some actual VR demos on stage. Looks like
It looks like they're saying that this HTC Vive rig is actually for the first time all powered by a Mac.
That's awesome.
Oh, okay.
They're only showing Vive hardware. There's no mention of Oculus or any other VR brand right now, but they did say that it is being all powered by a Mac.
I think earlier they did talk about Unity and Unreal, but I don't know if Oculus was name checked there.
No, I didn't see Oculus. I did see Unity and Unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys tried the Star Wars demo for the Vive?
Oh,
No, I
I've heard
haven't.
it's amazing.
It's incredible. And if they can get that going on an iMac, that's huge.
See, Beecham and I spend a lot of time with each other, so I'll say things that he's heard 5 times, and he'll say things that I've heard 5 times, like that. Right.
Totally.
It's so true. I didn't want to fake it and be like, oh, no, tell me more about it. Tell me more.
Please.
Yeah.
All right.
So they're showing a demo of on stage of her in a virtual world being run. Looks like it's Star Wars. I don't know what planet they're on. It looks like Darth Vader's headquarters, his home base.
Yeah.
Where he recharges. You can see his tower in the background.
Okay, great. So all you need now is to buy a new iMac so you can enjoy VR. This is VR's problem.
You have to have so much equipment, and it's so expensive to get it off the ground. But I mean, is this demo necessarily targeted towards, hey, now you can do VR, or is it more like, hey, developers, hey, studios,
right?
Guess what? We now have support, and it's going to be easy to do it, and it's going to be actually functional.
Right.
They're throwing in a TIE fighter. She's basically in this virtual world and throwing in iconic Star Wars vehicles, ships, Darth Vader, and having fun playing with it.
Fun. This is the demo time, man.
Yeah.
Let me see if anyone.
Wow.
Wow.
We got some more bingos.
Looks like he's in Hawaii. Darth Vader's in Hawaii right now.
Well, since we're on the Mac, I'm just going to take this call real fast. Hopefully, Aaron is ready to roll from Indianapolis. Aaron, I know that you're watching the keynote and you're hanging with us. We're going to take your call real quick. What's up? Welcome to CNET Live.
How are y'all doing today?
Doing great. What's up?
Nothing much. I'm just watching the keynote right now, and actually on like a little iPhone 6. So, yeah. But anyways, I'm just was curious about is Apple going to bring great FaceTime into the iPhone?
I hope so. I hope so. But
I
guess
really
what?
hope so. That would be so cool.
They didn't show it in their demo of macOS. They never mentioned it there at all. To me, that's a type of feature that should be on both macOS and iOS. And because they didn't put it there, it may not. It may not. But maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe they decided for some reason to only make it mobile on, which would be really makes no sense.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So we just wanted to jump in real quick since they're just kind of hanging out with VR right now. But thanks for calling. We appreciate you waiting so long.
Yeah, no problem. I've been watching you guys' shows since the beginning. I've been an Apple fan for so long, and I love your guys' work. I mean, individually and stuff like that. And Alexa should be the next Siri voice, because our Australian voice is amazing. So yeah.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Hey, Aaron, I can't help you, but give her Twitter handle, but not phone number. Twitter handle only.
I know. Oh, it's okay. I've been single for a long time, so it's all right.
Hey, bro, single, mingle, love yourself. Love yourself.
Right, exactly.
Awesome. All right, thanks so much, man. Thanks for calling.
All right, no problem.
All right. We will get back into this keynote here. Again, they're kind of just going over the specs of the iMacs. The 21.5-inch entry level starts at $1099. The 21.5-inch 4K starts at $1299. And we have not seen the announcement of the high-end Mac yet.
Well,
here we go. $1799 for the iMac Retina 5K 27-inch.
Okay, that's
up?
not as high as I thought it would be.
Yeah, you know what it is though. Once you load it with like more RAM
No, it's like
and
double.
more hard
It's
drive
like
space,
literally double.
you'll throw up another $600-700 in on there. Also, it looks like we're going total Mac refresh. Kaby Lake is also coming to the MacBooks. So get ready. You can also mark your bingo card. I mean, we have 14 winners for our bingo card, so you have a pretty high chance of seeing this stuff.
We got a lot of bingos already happening. I can see them all.
All right. So just for your record, according to Shara, Apple cuts the price of the entry-level 13-inch MacBook Pro to $1299, which is $200 less than it used to be.
That's a much more reasonable price.
And a great entry for students at a 13-inch with, again, a physical bar.
Function bar.
Function keys. Volume, brightness.
That makes so much more sense. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
For coming to your senses, Apple. Okay.
So originally $1499, now $1299 for the non-touch MacBook Pro. Non-touch bar MacBook Pro. It's good. I would recommend that highly already.
Yeah. That makes me wonder what, if anything, is going to happen with the MacBook Air. Because now those two are getting a little close.
Or just the regular old MacBook.
Right.
I mean, where's that going to fit in, too? I mean, that's the 12-inch.
Yeah, they've got some
The super
cleaning up
skinny,
to do,
the super
huh?
skinny
the
MacBook?
super skinny
Yeah.
one, the gold one that comes in the gold finishes.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just not powerful enough for me to actually give it a shot.
It is so light, though.
Yeah.
It is lighter than the Air.
It's a beauty, no
Yeah.
doubt. No doubt.
Oh, it's called the iMac Pro.
iMac Pro.
Oh, man.
Wait, is that for the high end?
Hang on, yet another product line?
Yes, another product
line. So, to your point, more redundancy?
Yep, more redundancy.
More redundancy.
So is this? Well, we don't know exactly because we're not listing this, but are they saying this is separate from the iMac 5K? This is its own beast. Yes, it is a different thing. You'll first notice it's the same great design as our 27-inch iMac, but it's seriously a badass space gray finish.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
Scott Science says it's an iMac, but badass.
All right, looks like they're going to jump into the video right now. It's cool because the information that we get inside actually comes out before the actual
keynote. We're getting all this
keynote.
before everyone.
So we just get it a few moments before so we can talk about it and you guys can all watch it, which is why you could do both. So they showed a mouse that was like space gray.
Is this space gray? This one? I think this
That
one's
is, yes,
this
that
is
is space gray.
This guy.
That
So
new
it's gonna
MacBook
look like
Pro that
this.
you're rubbing and like just bragging about. Like,
No, I've already scratched
would.
it. It's already
did?
scratched.
It is quite scratched.
It is. It's very. I don't know how it got scratched, but it just did.
I wonder if you can buff it out.
So they're talking about performance into this new iMac Pro. The team had to rethink the thermal architecture. It's greater than an 80% increase in cooling capacity. Will ship with an 8-core Intel Xeon processor. Oh, daddy like.
Can run
I bought the first iMac, the new 27-inch iMac. I was crying when they released the 5K display. Like literally, I think 6 or 7 months later.
We bought ours around the same
and I'm like, but this iMac Pro.
And the space.
I have a Pro. I have an iMac. I'm gonna stop. iMac Pro.
Oh.
We just need
We're
that
having
little
nightmares.
Sharon, this is a worm in your brain that will not leave for the next week.
It hurts.
It does hurt. It's also going to ship with a freaking 10-core Xeon processor model if you want.
Wow.
And
AMD's Radeon Vega graphics and a cool little swirly animation that looks cool.
Wow.
up to 18 cores. Okay, they kind of went crazy there.
16 gigs of VRAM, video RAM. Virtual RAM.
All right.
Virtual.
So is this to tide us over until the Mac Pro comes out?
Probably.
Mhm.
18-core Xeon processor. That's insane.
Yeah, I want to see a side-by-side comparison of this versus the Pro.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right?
The garbage
They
can.
the fact that this exists is because they wanted to ignore the Mac Pro.
Right.
This was the
Yeah.
replacement
That's what I'm
basically
saying.
for them not
Right.
doing any updates to the Mac Pro.
If this is better than the Pro,
Well, then the Pro's gone.
why do we need the Pro?
Right.
All those poor people that
Well,
bought that thing.
the reason why is because
Right.
there's still a lot of users that want to
External-
customize external
Exactly.
cards, video
Sure, sure, sure.
cards,
And there were lots of-
audio cards.
Yeah, and different monitor configurations rather
Yeah.
than that. Mm-hmm.
So this is the thing. I think the power on this is like, damn, this is sick. But then you're like, well, most people that need this much power need more expandability.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
kind of catch-22.
it's a
in
little
that
lot.
respect.
It's
Yeah.
a little. It's a tweener.
Yeah,
It's a tweener.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that someone like me who kind of got over the fact that a Mac Pro isn't going to exist in the way that I wanted to, would be interested in this. But then now that, are you going to wait a year plus for the new Mac Pro? Or are you
No,
going to
you're
get
going
this?
to buy
I think some
this.
people are going to buy this actually.
Exactly.
Plus, it's.
First time ever 1080p FaceTime camera
I don't
on
want
an
that.
Oh yeah,
I don't want that.
1080p
No.
FaceTime camera.
No, give me 480.
What's
I
up?
want
What's up?
240.
You
don't
could
wanna
Can you
theoretically,
change it? Can you change the settings?
Yeah.
You can just put a piece of Scotch tape over it and
That's
blur it
true.
out.
with the power of this iMac, you could theoretically hook up 2 5K displays and 2 RAID arrays for the hard drive. So it looks like on the back here 4 standard USB and then 4 Thunderbolt. So this is the iMac Pro. This is again you know exactly what Apple was thinking for the longest time and why they were ignoring the Mac Pro, which is kind of sad.
It is.
You
and
know,
then they come out with this. Okay.
That
So-
it makes it kind of like for people that are pro users, they're like, ugh.
Exactly. It's a stab. Okay, what are we talking cost-wise? I really want to know if we kit it out fully to the extent that we can make it as crazy as possible. Whoa, we got the price.
Oh,
What
it
is
beat you to it. I'm gonna wait. Hold on.
Bye.
$17.99 was the iMac Pro. I've been
Bye.
looking at it. Is it like $24.99 starting?
No, I think it's going to be $37.99.
What is it at?
No
$4,999.
No.
Dude,
What?
I just went doo-doo in my pants. That's not gonna happen.
That's quite a bit.
Okay, available in December. And that's the configuration with the 5K display, the 8-core, not even
That's
the
the
18
minimum,
core.
though.
That's not
That's
even
the 8 core.
18 core.
That's just the 8 core
That's the
minimum
8
entry.
core.
Oh my gosh.
32 gigs memory, 1 terabyte SSD.
1 terabyte.
Yeah, 10
Come
gigabit
on.
like Ethernet.
This is
That's $5,000, and we're gonna put 18
This-
cores in that.
look. I'm not here to hate, but this doesn't make sense for
So-
most people.
For
And
most
that's
people,
the point.
For
Yeah,
most
this is not for
people,
most
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
It's for gamers. It's for people that are doing
VR
really VR
developers.
developers intensive applications, right?
And that's
So
okay.
Dan Ackerman says that this is actually a good price for what you're getting. He reviews gaming laptops that cost more or as much,
Oh,
almost
yeah.
as
yeah.
much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
All right, it's a steal, folks.
Hey, I think it's cool. The space gray to make it pro.
Dude,
Yeah.
this
Is
is like
cool.
if a company is buying it for you.
Oh
That's it.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I ain't gonna
That's
buy
it.
this with my own money.
Mm-mm.
I mean, maybe no.
I'm gonna enroll in school just so I can get that discount.
I mean, for you young people that want this, it's time to go ramen dinner, ramen
That's
breakfast,
true. That's not
ramen
bad.
lunch.
Hey,
For real.
Yeah.
you add a few spices, throw in some chicken.
A little,
Got a
little-
meal.
Tasty.
that chicken costs money. That togoroshi, a little flavoring up on there. A little togoroshi, that costs money.
That's not a bad point though. The student discount with 10% for.
I'm serious. You enroll in
$99
3
off.
units.
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna cost you a couple $100. You save $500.
Hey,
Wow.
let's get crazy here. Farm to table. Get some chives in your backyard.
Why not?
Get some green onions in your
That's
backyard.
right. Just so we can afford
Put a little,
our
put a little,
iMac Pro.
little bit of Thai basil up in there.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Okay, okay.
Thai basil, nice man.
Thanks. I mean, I know you'd appreciate that, Chef Sharon.
All right. Ooh, iOS 11. Oh,
iOS 11.
iOS, well,
bingo.
ooh,
What did I win,
bingo,
Brian?
you
I want,
win.
yeah, you win. When you
You
win, I don't know, a high five. Did I put the disclaimer that people in the live
Yeah,
keynote cannot actually win?
Staff members
what?
cannot
Fine.
win.
I mean, I do have a I do
Just-
have a
I
I do
need
have a
a-
rose gold USB to
I
Thunderbolt
need
cable.
I need a lightning to headphone dongle, please. Thank you.
You need a dongle.
Everybody needs one of those.
I've been asked that a lot.
Jesus.
Hey, I got 2 giggles from the ladies.
Nah, man.
Nah, man. Nah, man.
Ah.
Or throw up in the mouth. I mean, one or the other. All right, iOS 11. They're talking about how messages added messages added stickers in iOS 10. A redesigned app drawer, so apps will be accessible right there at the bottom of the screen. This is going to be interesting. Look, a lot of this stuff is going to hint, because of the form factor of the new iPhone will change and most likely not have any type of physical home button. We've got to see some sort of hints to that here.
Yeah, getting people ready, getting people accustomed
That is actually
to that.
kind of useful, but I'm afraid when I do like swipes, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, iCloud. Looks like the big story with message is that messages in iCloud will now be synchronized when you sign into
thought it was
another
already-
device.
wait a minute.
I'm pretty sure they already
That's
are.
what I thought.
Yeah.
I have
Because
syncing.
it takes a little while, but it does sync.
Huh.
I mean, I don't know if they're.
Maybe
Are
there's
they
a-
over reviewing? Yeah,
and
we're not
stay,
watching
oh,
this.
and they stay in sync. Maybe that's the difference.
Oh, so it's not loading it,
it's not-
backloading.
Yes, most likely. And also
Like
when you-
live syncing, basically?
Yeah, and when there is a delay in which you haven't signed into a device for a long time, it has the last history rather than the most current messages. Maybe that's what they're referring
Yo,
to.
real talk. Be careful what you put on your iMessage.
Real talk, be careful what devices you sign into with your
Yeah.
iTunes account.
Real talk, live syncing, everybody.
Real talk, turn it off.
Clear your photos immediately. I'm like.
He was like, what?
Yeah, last real talk, two-step authentication.
Wait,
If you
Beecham,
don't
why is your
already
face
have
red?
it-
Beecham's not even in this conversation. His face is red.
When I was home sick on Friday, and someone logged into my computer at my desk, and I got a notification on my phone. I'm like, what happened? And I wanted to like call someone and be someone on my computer, but then I was just like, just forget it, whatever.
Oh,
But at least it gives you a notification if that stuff happens.
I guess, but if you have messages pulled up as an app.
But I thought I turned it off. It might have been like some update. 'Cause sometimes you have to turn that stuff off
I'm
again.
telling you, two-step authentication, people, do it.
Okay, here's a big thing started jumping. Apple is now offering pay-to-pay person-to-person
Bye-bye,
payments.
Venmo.
Person-to-person
Venmo.
payments.
Bye. Apple Now Bank. Bye.
Oh,
I don't
my
know.
gosh.
Apple, Apple
Apple-
Wallet, Apple Pay.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't completely take off. So who's
Oh my
to say
God,
that
I
this will
rely
take
on
off?
that.
I think there's a
I use Apple
very-
Pay a lot,
yeah,
actually.
There's an untapped market there, and this is really a part of Apple's big push into. Obviously, peer-to-peer payments is huge, but they really want to kind of replace banks eventually. I can see it happening. I can see it happening.
Well, the cool
And
thing
it's
is you can
smart,
do it
trend-
directly in the message app.
Well, I want to know if
that's
it's like
cool.
Venmo, where it holds your money in this virtual account that you have to cash out of.
Yeah.
I hate that. That seems to me.
You mean you'd like it to just transfer directly to your
pop it
account?
in my account? Give me my money.
That's what mine does.
It's my money.
I wonder
You
though.
just log into your bank account. That's how. I don't know.
Here- no,
Maybe yours
no,
works
you have to
differently.
withdraw.
You have to
cash
still
out.
force it out. Yeah, you have to still, I wonder though if that's a function that is agreed on with like the banks itself. Like there's someone that's putting that roadblock that you still have to physically move it from this platform into our bank. Like for whatever reason, right?
Well, yeah,
is
because
there
of
any
the
app
way
there
the
that
finance
goes direct?
industry.
Other than working directly through
Square.
your bank?
Square lets you do it.
Goes
You have
direct
to
to bank?
pay like 50 cents.
Oh, okay,
But it
okay.
does let you do it.
Well, that's going to be interesting to see
And
how
bank
this
to
actually
bank.
works.
Well, I'm okay with just doing it myself. I got to pay 50 cents every time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth it.
So next up, here we go. They're going to talk about Siri. More than 375 million active devices use it monthly, being baked into the Messages app. Okay, hold on.
Man,
I
we
think
need
they're
to
jumping
count
around.
How many times it said bake today?
I know.
Yeah.
They're
So-
making it a big upgrade to it. That's Siri voice. We've used deep learning to make it more natural sounding
Ooh,
voice.
I want to know what Siri sounds like now.
Me too.
Siri has a great new visual interface as well. We'll provide follow-up answers with just a tap. That's a classic Google feature.
Oh, yeah.
Follow-up answers.
And translation, which is also another classic Google feature.
Yes.
Coming in strong.
I
here.
wonder,
Translation.
who's
initially.
powering that? Interesting.
Interessante.
Interessante.
They can transition initially English to Chinese, French, German, and Spanish right now. Siri translation is in beta, according to the Scott Stein mentioned. He puts beta in parentheses. Siri Kit can now do more than ever with iOS 11. You can do task management in OmniFocus's third-party app connections, bring up a QR code in WeChat.
All right.
Siri not only understands your voice, it understands the context. We've heard this before from other companies, so we're going to try and figure out what more it can do that. Again, they need to play more catch-up than it. I don't think they're going to come out with some groundbreaking
Yeah.
thing. They just need to be smarter and play catch-up.
Yeah, help us make a calendar appointment based on something we booked on the web. Google does that.
Or just
I think
automatically.
Google does that. Yeah.
Have that.
Have it.
You know what's creepy
Check.
though is that when you have the Google app on the Google Assistant now on iPhone, it goes into your email and it says your package has been shipped, and it gets the notification to you before you get the email.
Oh.
That's what happened to me, and I was like,
Whoa.
Creepy. So-
oh, because it's using the tracking number.
So, ladies, just a quick thing. I'm assuming we'll see a lot more in the Siri speaker, but that's all they talked about Siri. That's it. They're jumping over to camera already, which is
Wow.
kind of interesting. So
we
we'll
still
see.
have like theoretically an hour.
An hour to go. Yeah.
Oh, just an hour? I want more time with you.
Oh.
Don't you want more time with me?
So anyway,
So back to the keynote.
Moving back.
Back to the keynote. So next to the camera, our customers now take 1 trillion photos per year. Take a lot of video.
Oh, interesting. It looks like they're rolling out a new image format for basically compressing your images so they take up less space but still have the same quality, presumably. That'll be interesting.
It's called
good.
HEVC for videos, HEIF for photos.
so
Half-size
everyone
images,
who for some reason bought a 16 gigabyte iPhone,
Yeah.
even though the three of us here, we told you not to do this.
Like-
Please don't. Please
You'll
don't.
be happy.
We work for this website called CNET. Just at least if you don't listen to anything we say, just don't get the 16 gig iPhone.
Please.
Just don't do that.
No, it's not needed. Oh, okay. Here we go. This is something interesting now. So they're talking about depth information. And this is what I was talking about with the dual cameras on the 7 Plus.
Yeah.
There's got to be something extra here. So they're starting to hint at capturing the depth from the 2 cameras with the depth API.
Oh,
And-
the depth API.
Okay, well, so for now, Scott's saying the depth API will allow the dual lens portrait mode to roll out to other apps, not just the
Oh, well, that's
iPhone camera.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool, and that was hopefully something that is expected. However, I want to see more.
They're
I always
also
want to see more.
they're also talking about with iOS 11, you can take low light photographs using HDR. So
So
even more low light while using that high dynamic range.
Ooh,
That's interesting.
I don't know how well that's gonna.
Well,
look.
that's right. You got to
I'm
see it.
really
Proof in the pudding,
intrigued.
right?
Proof's gonna be proof pudding because like HDR now is really generally only for like those
Mhm.
bright
Mhm.
situations where you have
Mhm.
enough light in order to take a couple of different exposures at once. So if you're in low light, keeping that stable is going to be a tricky job without a tripod.
I'm not gonna hate.
No,
But this sounds almost made
curious.
up. It's like
I'm
you know,
curious.
like we just we turn on the HDR while it's low light. Like,
Yeah.
oh, how does that work? We
It's
just
like
did it.
You're not going to get no camera shake in that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna.
Interesting.
I
Interesting.
interesting
I believe it though.
to see.
I believe
I
it.
believe
Yeah.
it. I just like to mess with them.
So it sounds like portrait is coming to movies as well as live photos, perhaps.
Okay,
to me,
that's
this
kind
is
of hot.
all hinting that, and maybe it was obvious already, but if it wasn't before, it is now, that all of the next iPhones will have dual cameras.
Yeah.
Just type in
has to.
iPhone 8 camera. You'll see
Let's
every
see.
you'll see every image possible.
There it is.
What do we think of also like the move to portrait vertical video? So they're talking about you can now watch the effect in portrait mode. Why are we moving towards vertical video here? It's just a form
it's a
factor
thing.
because
It's
that's how we're
no-
just doing it now.
I think
And
it sounds ridiculous, but people do not want to rotate their phones.
No, I know. That's
Lame.
True. I'm
I will
sad,
not
but true.
rotate my phone.
I will not rotate
I
my
will
phone.
not.
I will not rotate my phone.
It has a lot to do with social media, I believe.
It
You know,
does.
just
It has
social media.
everything to do.
And YouTube's doing that now too, where you can go full screen with the,
There you go.
with an upright phone.
Yeah,
It's just following consumers' behaviors.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true. I just
whether we
don't-
like it or not.
I don't want to admit that's the case because it makes me sad.
It makes me.
but
It hurts me inside.
It does hurt me. It hurts me as someone that likes to take photos and watch videos.
I think
but
we
it's
should.
mostly
Yeah.
portrait now.
I think we should just mess with people and understand what they're doing. We're gonna do the next live show in vertical video, and you're gonna be pissed
We
off.
should.
Yes.
No, we should.
Let's have Beecham put some like.
I don't know
black-
how we even do
You know
that
what? You know what we
with the
could
TriCaster.
just like a title card. Instead
Oh,
of
yeah,
it,
we just put
black
black bars
bars
on both
Black
sides.
bars.
To be
That's
like
what we're
this.
gonna do.
Be like
I
this,
want
dude.
that.
Yeah.
I want that.
Let me see if I can do that
And then
right
when you
now,
go to the
Brian.
movie theater, you're going to be like, oh my God, it's so wide.
Exactly.
And then everybody will go back to movie theaters again.
That's true. It's a conspiracy.
They're
Brought to
doing
you by Dolby.
they're doing a new control center update. Now this looks interesting. It looks like a lot of stuff is going
Yeah, it
on. I
looks
don't know
busy.
if you have a
Yeah.
screen of this, Beecham, But it looks like there's a music player. There's your utilities. It's almost like widget style.
I hate it. I
screen
think it's
brightness.
ugly.
It
Control
looks.
center is such a mess as it is at the moment. I keep, you know what? I keep deafening myself every time I'm listening to music and I'm trying to access something from the control center, swiping across, and then accidentally swiping all the way up on the volume. I do that all the time, and it drives me insane.
This control center does not look. It looks more jumbled. Like I see the big panels, but that thing right there, that shot right there.
Yeah, that right there.
Yeah. My eyes just glaze over when I see
Why
that.
can't the music player just be a rectangle that is across a strip instead of like a box in the corner without swiping?
There's too much there. User interface design is something that Apple usually gets very right, but looking at that is very confusing.
Fumbling all over themselves with the Apple Watch, though.
Yeah,
so
no,
to
good
me,
point.
this is right in line.
Damn. Hashtag real talk.
That's right.
You can 3D touch the control center to go directly into them for more detail. Like it'll pop them up. That's what we saw why it goes into the large screen. It's like,
do you know how many people I just love doing this, showing people 3D touch for the first time because people don't know they have it. I'm like, push in.
And they're like, oh wow,
oh my god.
Like I still am. I was all about 3D touch, but it's like people don't know / use it, and it's part of moving things forward is changing the behavior of how people do things. Right now, people are comfortable with using, at least in the U.S. Long ago in Asia, it's already been done, using their phones as wallets, right? That has taken time for people to get used to that behavior. This whole 3D touch thing, because not all apps can use it, it's not truly, again, consistent. Like, people don't use it, don't know where to use it, when to use it. The only time I use 3D touch, two main things. When a message notification pops up, I can push right into it, right?
Oh, that's
So
cool.
it doesn't take over my screen anymore. And then Shazam.
Yeah.
I don't want to open the Shazam. I'm like, let's peek and pop on a Shazam, and then just peek and pop. Peek and pop. That's the function. They called it peek and pop.
Peek and pop. Really?
Yeah. So when I go like this,
Peek and pop.
peek and pop.
I love
Peek and
that.
pop.
Peek and pop.
Pika. Pika pop.
Pikachu.
Pika pop.
Oh, where's Pikachu?
Oh,
I thought we were going to see something
Re-
Nintendo related.
Oh.
could still come.
How many of you use memories? I look at that crap all the time.
Me, all the time.
Memories? Have you ever?
Not really that often. No, I must
Well,
be the anomaly.
I'm gonna say just try looking at it. Maybe try once a month, and I think you'll end up using it more than you think.
Probably.
Like, I'm probably because I have nieces and nephews, and when me and my lady go out like to some cool place, and then I look, I'm like, I'm not like saving the video, but I'm looking at them.
Yeah.
Right? Are you?
Yeah, I'm looking at them. Well, I mean, Brian, I thought you didn't want Google and Apple to curate these things for us.
Not a photo
You
book.
love
A
it.
photo book.
You
A photo
love
book is
it.
different.
You are the
A photo
number
book
one
is different.
fan.
A photo book is different. A photo book is different. That's like heart to me.
If it's virtual, it's okay.
Well, it's like a video, sure, because I'm lazy, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna edit a video of like what happened
Yeah.
at the winery or something. But if it's a book, like if I gave you a gift as a book, and you knew that I just pressed one button to make it, that's like heartless.
So lame.
That is
It's
heartless. There's no soul in that.
True. There's
Like,
no
where's
love there. Where is the love
where's
there?
the damn soul?
Fair enough. That's a good
That's
point.
all I'm saying.
All right.
But I agree. Your point was actually well made. I just need to take it to the next level.
No, I love watching these. Like after a vacation or a little trip or something, these are a lot of fun to watch.
I was going to say, if you have kids,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
a slam dunk. It's like, thank God.
Or
I-
food.
Google-
Or food. Or food shots.
Those are my babies.
Yeah.
You have
yeah,
yours, I
yeah,
have mine.
Yeah.
Google was doing this a long time ago, though, but Apple's doing it too, and it's pretty much exactly the same, almost down to the font and the music. Seriously.
Yeah. Because they can.
Yeah, they can.
Why not?
I mean, Facebook ripped off Snapchat in 5 different ways. This
true.
is just the new
Yeah.
internet. This
It's
is
the
how
new
it
norm.
works.
It's the new norm.
It looks
Everything's
like-
going to be the same.
It's not proprietary.
Live stream from everywhere.
That's true. And it looks like they've also ripped off Boomerang because there was an
Phew.
effect where you can loop and reverse GIFs or
And-
GIFs as you.
And
whatever you
this
wanna
is
say.
why you haven't heard a mention of the Oculus, because Facebook is one of Apple's biggest competitors.
There
so,
we go.
I mean, yeah, they're just going to rip off their features one by one.
Exactly.
Other quick things. They didn't go into it too in depth, but they said, "Let's talk about stickers," and I immediately kept scrolling.
And there's nothing on stickers.
Maps has a mail mode in the new Maps. Detailed mall mode.
Oh, that,
I
like-
can't read.
like a
sorry.
Mall mode.
Yeah, detailed floor plans of malls. We let you browse by floor.
Oh, good.
Malls in Boston, Chicago, and Hong Kong.
Can we get this for the CES convention, please?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that would be rad.
Well,
Can we get this for the CNET office?
Yes, please.
Dude.
Yes, please. Well, this is something that Google Maps does.
Yeah,
And-
indoor
and
mapping
indoor
has been a thing that
mapping
people
is-
have been talking about for a while.
Exactly. But now, Apple Maps.
let me speculate a little bit here.
Let's get Specky.
AR. This is laying the
Oh,
groundwork.
that's true. That's true.
Here we go. That's all.
Integration. I like it.
They're also talking about. Well, Shara just mentioned CarPlay real briefly. So people have been asking us on the podcast a lot about what's going on with CarPlay, and it's
What
so
is going on with CarPlay?
what is going on. We wanted to bring the same level of safety to everyone who doesn't have one of the kinds of cars that has CarPlay.
Okay, here's what's going on with CarPlay. Either you have purchased a new car that happens to be CarPlay compatible in the last couple of years, and you have it, or you don't. That's all.
Yep.
That's why we haven't heard much about it because I don't know anybody who uses it.
I don't know anyone who has it in the car.
This is
I was in a rental car. I was in a rental car with CarPlay in it, and it was still weird to use. Like you're still touching, and it's still you just want to get your phone out and do exactly the same thing as you want to do on the screen. It's not as efficient as they would like.
I just want to be able to mirror my phone. That's all.
Yeah.
Because using your phone exactly the way you would when you're not driving while you are driving is a very safe idea.
Oh, well. wait, hold on. You make a point.
Well, so here's the thing in CarPlay. They did add a feature called Do Not Disturb while driving so that you won't be, I guess, alerted or distracted by notifications that you, no matter what, are going to press, even though, yes, once in a while you do that while you're driving. I'm sorry. It happens.
It happens.
And it's not safe to do that.
We don't recommend it.
But one thing I find interesting is that with Android's car platform, the phone, when you plug it in, basically becomes completely useless and stuff is done on the screen.
Right.
And where right now in CarPlay, your iPhone plugged in the system, you could still use it. Like it's still active,
it is.
which is very distracting, right? But, so this Do Not Disturb mode is maybe a way that they are addressing it. But it works the same, it's working the same. Stein is saying, I wonder how well it works with the Apple Watch. Is it the same? Does it talk to it? We'll see.
Oh, that's a good question.
They're going to move on to HomeKit now. Announced in 2014, for the record.
There's always a HomeKit section, and there's
A
always
long time ago.
there's something happening about speakers.
There's
in
one.
HomeKit.
Here's
One
the setup.
category.
Yep.
Here it is.
One category really close to our heart that we wanted to add to HomeKit. That's speakers.
Oh man, I just want to see a price.
The
I want to see
suspense.
when it's available.
I want to see what it looks like. Rumors have said,
Garbage
living
can,
room speaker.
Garbage can.
No, the joke was they're going to repurpose the Mac Pro
Exactly.
shells and make them into the speaker.
That's exactly how I imagined
Just
it.
change it so it's a fabric grill rather
Oh,
than
totally. Totally. I mean, they got to do something with all that extra metal.
Oh yeah. And it's not a speaker. It's talking about controlling speakers with AirPlay 2.
Yeah, turning up volume.
Through a new AirPlay protocol, which gives more finite control over that on a single panel.
Oh, can you AirPlay to multiple speakers that aren't necessarily the same brand?
It says right here, multiple room audio support in
Okay,
iOS 11.
That's great.
There you go.
Thank
Sharon.
you very much.
You're welcome.
Bluetooth was never able to overcome this challenge, so it makes sense for AirPlay to tackle it. Wow, that's great. Now I'm like, do I have any AirPlay speakers?
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope, nothing. And back to the problem, we have Bluetooth speakers. Still. But if you buy Beats, as they name check,
Here's a nice thing they just added. Now your Apple TV can be played to from an iOS device or Mac anywhere in the home. So you're able to, from what it looks like, your Apple TV can be seen on on your Mac screen or on your iOS screen.
so that wasn't the case before.
No, like I couldn't mirror. You mirror from your MacBook to your Apple TV, but
Yeah.
what if, from what I'm reading, what if you wanted to mirror your Apple TV and have that sit back experience, like at your
Yeah.
on your computer screen, like an Apple TV, talking your Apple TV to your MacBook screen,
Oh,
like in a different room of your house. Would you want that? That's cool. Yeah. I think it's kind of cool, actually.
that's neat.
I'd want that.
As long as you can have multiple instances of Apple TV.
Yeah, like
Yes.
play
Yeah.
different videos from different
Right.
rooms.
Right.
But yeah, the multi-audio, right, Chris jumps in here. Multi-room audio control is going to be a major crowd pleaser.
Right now, just go buy
all of the
AirPlay
devices
speakers.
that you need
Right.
to make this a reality.
Yeah, by the end of this keynote, I'm like $7,000 deep.
Right? I've already dropped $5,000 on an iMac Pro.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We should maybe do something like that. Like, what do I want from the keynote? And just keep on adding, have a running total.
Running tally.
It's just like, all right.
Apple Music time. Aren't we pumped, guys? Apple Music.
They now have 27 million customers. It doesn't look like those are.
Paying?
I'm
Yeah.
not sure if those are
Yeah.
paid. Yeah, it looks like paid subscribers.
Yeah.
As of December or last year, Apple had over 20 million, so they moved up to 27 million. If I recall, is Spotify at 50 or 60 million?
50 million
right?
last time
Yeah.
I checked. Yeah.
Combined?
Yeah, 50 million paying users.
Yes, correct.
That's
correct.
not combined. So
Yeah.
the total of all Spotify users is higher.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Apple Music, they're talking about this, and Phil Schiller's going to be coming up to stage with their kind of new revamps to Apple Music.
You know what I really want to see?
App sucks.
It totally sucks.
You know what I really want to see? Just a better looking iTunes. Just
Yes.
clean iTunes.
Yes.
You got everything there. Just break it out, make it cleaner, make it seamless, make Apple Music look better.
Yes.
That's not that hard. It
I
can't
don't
be that
think
hard.
so.
It is.
And
It is.
It's hard.
it takes courage.
We've seen this historically over a span of
Yeah.
6 to 10 years. It's hard.
It's hard.
Oh.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Phil Schiller. Oh, but we can't tell if his voice cracks. So
I know.
Just gonna have
Someone
to
please
word
tweet
on
us and let us know.
I'm just going to mark it because I guarantee you it happens once. It's on the bingo card for a reason. It really
He
is.
just gets excited, guys.
He really does.
Oh, we have a reference to Pokemon.
Oh.
With people in Hong Kong playing Pokemon Go.
Still?
So, yeah. No, I've seen people play
Yeah, I
it still.
know.
I
Oh,
really
people-
have. They're still going.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Scott Stein said Pokemon Go bingo card checked off. We did
It
not put it on
ain't
here.
on the bingo
We
card.
didn't put it on here.
But maybe it's on his one. Maybe he's
Yeah,
got his
he
own
made his-
one.
he
He
made
made his
his
own
own.
one.
His own personal one that has just tears on it. So he had iMac Pro, $4,999. He really didn't want to check that box off.
So Apple is highlighting the fact that their App Store is a trusted and safe place for all users. We know that this past year has been a very tumultuous one when it comes to vulnerabilities and hacks. So this is Apple's chance to reassure everyone that they've had their App Store locked down for a long time.
Here's the thing that developers are most likely going to cheer about. We can't listen in. Faster app review times. Majority of apps are now reviewed under 24 hours, most in 1 to 2 hours. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Because
That's
a
pretty
while
incredible.
ago for developers, I mean, they were complaining like they didn't hear anything for like days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's going on with my app? So
So I wonder,
Good on ya.
how big that team is, or if they have robots doing it now. That's a lot of apps to approve.
It is.
Within 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah.
But hey, $100 billion in revenue.
They've got to invest in it because
Yeah.
that's where their income is. So
Scott Stein is chiming in that this is a really fast-paced keynote,
it is.
and I would
It's
agree.
pacey. It's moving
It's like,
along.
One more
They're
thing.
Not wasting any time.
One more
Yeah.
thing.
And it looks like they're now doing phased releases. So when you submit an app, you can choose if you want it to be phased in over time so you don't overload your infrastructure and your servers all at once. So, when there's a big release to an app, this is actually quite useful.
Yep.
Everyone's like slamming, especially when there's a new iOS update or something like that. It's probably the most common thing I can think about. It's just not like being slammed. So everyone's trying to get it at the same time. So if you're a developer and you want your app to go out, not everyone is going to be hitting your servers at the same time. So hopefully we would reduce load and make for
That's
a better
smart.
experience. So I think that's a smart thing. And I think developers would hopefully react well to that.
This is also interesting. They're going to do a complete redesign to the App Store. It starts with a brand new tab called Today.
Guys, it looks like Apple Music
Yeah.
came to the App
Yeah.
Store.
Wait, no.
Yeah, well,
Apple Music
We want less.
You know what's harder about this? Look at that redesign. Whoever paid for that top spot paid a lot of money because you're literally looking at one freaking app.
Yeah.
Oh, they showed Injustice 2? Dope! I'm all about that.
And now you're like, sold.
Now it's like, oh, we're in Injustice 2? Dope! No, but like from a content standpoint, if the Today tab you see one app, that's doo doo.
That's huge real
That's
estate
doo-doo.
right there.
But no, you're right though. That's a money spot right there.
It is, and that's, there has to be something about the organic nature of finding stuff that surfaces the top. That's not going to be like, oh, top downloaded based on user XYZ. Monument Valley is a known thing, Injustice 2 is a known thing. All these things are showing. Airbnb, I've never heard of that app, but like, it's like, I like getting exposed to stuff that like you may not have known about, or just show me more than one tile.
Exactly.
Like, come on, it's an app store. Oh no, it is the app store, like the one app store.
The one store.
One app.
So you're not buying Death Road to Canada down here?
I don't know. I really don't know.
$8.99. Prep.
Crazy.
It's under the section of prep for zombies.
No.
So when we the zombie apocalypse
Now they're just
comes,
creating stupid.
I know, right? I know.
As part of the app review process, I can make up my own app category.
Yeah, I think so, right?
Wow.
Oh, it looks too much like Apple Music.
They want you to spend more time in the app store.
I'm just saying this isn't compelling enough for me to like click around. It's one tile.
Exactly. I go in and I go, I'm not interested in this top app. I'm not going to scroll by.
How many times you want to scroll? Yeah.
Yeah.
You might, because you're like, wait, that's only one. What else is there? So you're like,
the number of
But
times
on here, like you can scroll sideways
Yeah,
see like there's
that's
2 rows that you can even scroll through on the
It
current
looks
app
like
stores.
you can still do that, but it's further down.
Yes.
It's buried underneath that top slot right there, which is the Today, which is probably going to be the thing that's surfaced
like
first.
okay. How many apps can I find from here? Like I could find apps on apps. Okay, apps on apps. I got one app. One. It's called App Store for a reason.
Yeah.
Damn.
Just one.
Damn.
Just one.
So like we said, it's
I
the
would
money
say
spot.
I would argue though that if you use Snapchat or Instagram stories or anything like that, you might already be accustomed to one thing at a time and then diving into the experience
Scrolling.
more. So maybe they're taking a page out of that design book.
But even Snapchat's branded content, you can look at a lot of different things.
That's true. It's
You know?
not
Oh,
as
the
blocked.
Discover?
Yeah.
It's
Like
not
it's.
Well, that interface
there's still
sucks too,
there's
so.
still big blocks.
Wait,
but
Snapchat's
there's
interface sucks?
Wait, Brian.
It's hard to use, really? Wow.
Like after 2-3 years using it, you're still wondering where's
Wow.
what?
But you're still using it.
Ish. Not
Ish.
ish.
Oh man. Okay.
So,
Well, that's the App
yeah.
Store.
Like
I
The
have to
single
say,
App Store.
just going back to money spent on the App Store and whatnot, I have definitely over the years become more comfortable spending more money on,
Really?
on digital goods like apps. I think that if they offer enough utility, I mean, we spend so much of our time on our phones. So why not invest in that time?
I'm kind of interesting because we're talking about the app experience on the App Store. I'm very much a person that I go in, I've read about an app somewhere else and I'll go in to download that one specific app.
Yeah.
And I generally won't spend time exploring and seeing what else is out there because I don't like the experience of just aimlessly browsing
Yeah,
through
totally.
apps and exploring. So this is going to make me even less determined
Right.
to go and dive in and find stuff,
Apple
right?
should just acquire Product Hunt because they have it figured out.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you do when you go to the App Store? I usually go to top free. You look at the list of
Yeah.
top
Yeah,
free,
exactly,
right? And see
top
what there
free.
is.
I just go to Injustice too.
Yeah, or you
I don't
search for
even-
whatever you want.
I just do that.
Top free is like Facebook, YouTube.
For
Yeah,
the
all
record,
the- all
I'm
the stuff
not
you already
I'm not
have.
being paid by Injustice 2 or Warner Brothers for the record.
Emotionally,
It's just
yes.
a damn amazing game. Okay, on to the next. Wait, hold on. I do have $20 from Warner Brothers in my pocket right now. Okay, I'm good. So yeah, I don't know. That App Store thing, as a developer who's trying to get your app discovered, I think you're probably even more frustrated when you see that interface right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. Rye just wrote exactly what I said. I only head to the App Store to download apps I already know I want, and he's wondering how many people actually use it to discover new apps.
Oh, but
I
did you know you ever wanted Angry Birds? I didn't.
No, Angry Birds and me was a bad experience.
You're all actually no. I knew I did not want.
Yeah,
Angry
I was like,
Birds.
I knew I don't want to take part in this.
So looks like they're wrapping up. They really spent a lot of time out of everything. Again, it's for developers.
This is a developers conference.
On the App Store, I'm actually really curious. I don't know if we have any developers that are watching this right now with us. We'll prompt it, but at the end of the show, I want to hear what developers think about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they're the ones that are going to be the most affected by this.
Mhm.
I'm really curious. So I'll throw out a tweet also just to see if people can let us know what they think about that.
All right, Federighi's back.
Air Force One.
Back on stage.
All right, so yay, let's talk about machine learning.
Here we go. Getting smart.
Here we go.
This is what we want. This is what we've been asking for. It's the way that we will get a cohesive, consistent experience across platforms. But
Absolutely.
let's see how else they use it.
Don't let us down, guys.
Yeah, please don't make this like.
Don't make it another redesigned app store,
Oh.
please. Machine learning has helped us redesign an app store to surface exactly what content you want for that one app.
My goodness.
Okay, so we have machine learning powering face tracking detection. This is, Google launched or announced Google Lens at Google I/O last month, and that's very much also machine learning. What can we get out of this photo, and how can we tie it to things that we know? So your face is one of those things that can be recognized and identified. So what is Apple doing with this? I don't know, but it sounds like they have they're announcing an API which will allow developers to use it however they like. So bring on the face swap apps.
Yeah.
Here's the thing when I see all this stuff is like, honestly, and they'll have to prove it to us with how they apply it. Is Apple even better than Google at doing these things?
Is Apple better at than Snapchat? I mean, seriously.
Like this is, again, companies have certain wheelhouses that they're experts in, and no matter what, you can't be an expert in everything. I think that's been proven. You just can't be an expert in everything. So with this technology they have, it's more about how they use it with their platform, but is it actually, when it comes down to us, the end user, is it actually better than what's out there?
Exactly. And just quickly, I know they're diving into AR right now, but I want to know how this processing is done, because I know Apple in the past has made a big deal about all this processing is done on camera, all the facial recognition to power like grouping faces together in photos.
Yep.
Is this now being opened up to developers who are going to sit on a cloud somewhere, or is it still going to be on device? Would love to know about that.
If it's on device, we need a new chip because it's, remember that Apple announced the motion coprocessor because they were really leaning into health. So if they are leaning into AR and machine learning and AI and so on, give us a chip so that we're not killing our battery life and that everything runs more smoothly.
Well, I'll tell you, Smarty Pants, that they are actually developing, according to many reports, an actual AI-based chip for exactly what you're asking for, to save battery power and throw all that onto the chip.
That's what I'm trying to say.
They're showing an
Round
augmented
of applause.
reality demo right
Sharon
now.
Profis. Round of applause,
Well
Sharon.
done.
They are, when we talk about AR, they are announcing AR Kit, which will have developer tools for AR apps and additional tools. So this is their first foray into outright saying we have HomeKit, we got AR Kit, we got Siri Kit,
all the kits.
Well, Google's was named something very similar too, right? Wasn't it a VR kit or something?
Oh,
just a couple weeks ago.
I don't.
I could be totally wrong, but.
So they're showing kind of like a demo, an iPhone using a camera and how it can identify different things. Not only that, it can add objects like putting a coffee cup onto a table. It's kind of funny how this is stuff that we've seen, but the Apple audience isn't maybe necessarily as
Microsoft
familiar.
showed this like 3 years ago.
Right.
HoloLens with the demos that blew everyone's mind, playing Minecraft on a table. We've seen this at Facebook's developer conference, a couple of weeks ago well. This is, this is basically what he's showing now is kind of like Snapchat-esque. You can put 3D objects in your world. It's talking about how the shadows can be moved around, though, and reflecting based on where you put the object, and the lighting is changing accordingly.
And again, it's okay. Look, to me, whether they're not on the cutting edge or not, Apple has so much power. The fact that all these iPhones, however hundreds, millions of phones are in people's hands, a developer has been wanting these tools so they can make stuff to make money on Apple's platform. So whether it happened 2-3 years ago or whether it's happening now, and this is a necessity for not only moving the technology forward, but to have these developers make their living by doing these new things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily. I mean, it matters, but in this world, it doesn't matter that HoloLens came out first and that we saw extremely impressive demos of playing Minecraft on your coffee table. It matters that now Apple's doing it.
Because, like, to this point, right, Scott Stein just wrote here, Apple boasting this will be the largest AR platform in the world, which could make it soar. And that's the thing, right? Smartwatches, although they haven't completely taken off, who has sold the most amount of smartwatches? Apple. Right? And so that's...
Who has sold the most tablets?
Apple, right? So they're using that muscle that they have to push this stuff out a little, quote unquote mainstream. Although, again, we are insulated by this tech bubble world. We see and are exposed to this like 3 years ago. That
we're like, we've seen
we're
this
like,
before.
whatever.
We can see this,
but it makes it has ripples beyond just our little like bubble.
Yeah.
This is interesting because if you think about like the other technologies in this space that are for consumers, like Google Tango, you need a specific phone to do this. And this is
the
now
point.
the point is now anyone with an iPhone 7 Plus, I'm assuming this is the demo is on a 7 Plus, it looks like, but I'm assuming anything with 2 cameras is going to be capable of doing this, which is it's not even going to be something that you need to think about. Oh, I need to buy an AR enabled phone. Your phone will be AR enabled as is.
Yes.
And so you have access to all this functionality, whether or not you know it or not.
Yep.
And that's kind of going to be that killer feature.
That's why, we are frustrated when Apple isn't the most innovative, but the power of their platform allows them to delay things, hold them off, and put them out the way they want, and then sometimes push it forward. Like Apple Pay, out of all, I don't know what the numbers are. I know people aren't constantly, doing mobile payments, but if I see which one people are arguably the most comfortable with in their brand cachet name, it's most likely Apple Pay. I know Samsung Pay is way more versatile, works on old school credit card terminals, but I don't see or hear people talking about Samsung Pay.
Unless they're really into tech and they know that they're going to be able to use that magnetic strip.
That is the best tech.
Right, because it's ironic because Samsung has the absolute best mobile payment tech. You don't need the credit card reader doesn't have to be compatible. So you're right. It's the power of the brand. So now what's going to happen is because, again, this is a developers conference, because developers know that now they have an easy road to get their AR, their VR apps out there to millions and millions of people. That's who they're going to develop for.
True that.
They're showing some demo on the stream now. It looks like it looks like some sort of game reenactment. I think this is something about, is this Peter Jackson's new production company?
Yes.
Wingnut AR. They're doing a demo where they're basically laying down a 3D game map on a table. And then moving around and watching the interactions there.
See, like this is a moment where people's brains can kind of be blown. They're doing this through an iPad without a headgear. Right?
Yeah, this is like the mind-blowing for people that haven't seen AR before and they don't actually... I'm actually quite surprised that Apple's called it AR because there's a lot of confusion about, it hasn't really crossed over as a term.
At the same time, I think we would be making fun of them if they didn't call it AR.
No, that's true. I was expecting them to call it something.
Oh, how about, they'll call it AR. They'll just call it Apple Reality.
Oh, God.
Apple Reality, y'all.
It stands for Apple Reality.
It's going to blow your mind, Apple Reality. It's going to blow your mind.
I have one single request. I want Tamagotchi to come back in AR.
Tamagotchi was pretty epic.
Yes,
that was pretty fun.
It brought out the worst in so many people. Like, seriously.
Well, like how much they care about a living
I just
creature,
let it sit in a
virtual
corner
pet.
and die and like not
poop.
clean it up and not feed it. And like, I did that. I'm a bad person, obviously.
Hey, if Z Cavaricis could come back, Tamagotchi's going to come back.
You
Tamagotchi
could
could
live
come back.
with your Sims. I want to live with my Sims.
Go outside and meet some people, Sharon. That's the best advice I can give to you right now. I love you.
She created better people for herself to hang out with, though.
A better world.
Oh, man.
Are they still showing off the demo right now?
Yeah, it looks like Tim Cook is back on stage. And the actual demo is a little slower than our live blog. Live stream. So
yes.
Tim Cook is.
So check this out. We're at 11:40. It's been an hour and 40 minutes into the keynote. We got about roughly. I don't know if they plan to make this end at 12:30. I don't know.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, at this time, it looks like Scott Stein says iPad time now. Let's see. Let's see this.
iPad time.
You guys aren't the biggest fans of tablets.
Or not?
Yes or no?
It's kind of just like a thing
It's
that you
just
have.
there.
Yeah. It's to me, it's not a productivity
Yeah.
device. It's like if I'm on a plane and I
Yep.
want to watch a movie and I know that the in-flight experience is not going to be satisfactory, I'll bring a tablet.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only time I'll ever have one on me.
Yeah.
Could I suggest you ladies into getting into reading comics?
Oh, right. I heard there are comics for people who don't like necessarily.
Yeah, what
No,
are
look,
they?
I think. How about this, real quick before we jump on the iPad?
Top 5 comics, go.
Well, I could give you a top 10, but
Okay.
comics don't have to be superhero-based Marvel-y DC comics. There's independent stuff that will blow your mind. I read a lot of comics. There's a lot of stuff in here, but you don't think like, why do I got to read about Superman? Like characters you've never heard of that have intricate, grown-up, mature stories that are like mind-blowing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Look
I'm
up
down.
Saga. It's
Can I
a game
borrow
of-
it from you?
Actually, I would if you would give it a shot. I want to hear what
But,
you
like,
think.
digital
It's legit.
borrow?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
mix of Star Wars meets Game of Thrones meets Romeo and Juliet.
Oh.
Literally, that's the
Sacros.
best way to
Love
mix
it.
that up.
I'm down.
It's been out for now, I think maybe 6 years, but it's mind blowing. Okay, let's get this keynote.
Back to iPad
But for all
Pro.
y'all watching, you ever that know Saga from Image Comics, Brian K. Vaughan, Fiona Staples, top cream of the crop right there. But there's so many more. This is not a comics podcast. iPad Pro.
We could morph
Isn't
into
it?
it.
iPad Pro is well due for a good upgrade. Tim Cook says when we introduced the iPad Pro just 18 months ago, it completely redefined what you can do with an iPad.
Let me clear our throat.
Sorry about
Asterisk.
that. Surface Pro. Anyways, there's two models to buy today: the 13-inch, 12.9 inch, and 9.7. 9.7 is the most popular today. Today we're going to introduce an all-new iPad Pro.
Thank you.
Here we go. Mark it down.
Cross that one off.
10.5 inch Retina display. It's the first iPad Pro, they said, with a larger 10.5 inch Retina display.
done.
Looks like an iPad Pro. It weirdly, let me see here. I think we're a little bit behind, but you can tell there's another picture, Beach 'em up higher. That's a black trim. Yeah, you can tell the bezels there are significantly smaller, and they're talking about how they've been able to reduce the borders while still keeping it at 1 pound.
Is that how much it weighs currently?
It's roughly they've roughly tried to keep it around a pound.
Okay. Wow.
I think when
Yeah, under a
they
pound.
released the updated iPad, like they kind of went backwards. That iPad actually started weighing more. Like it was a 9.7 inch that they kind of went backwards. It's like their cheapest, most affordable iPad.
Got it.
They've done a lot with the line, which is very confusing and hard to
It
just
is.
explain
Yeah.
in 5 words, which
Yeah.
tells you
and just
everything you
keep
need to know.
track of.
Weighs just a pound. It's the first iPad that can have a full screen keyboard on the display, as well as a smart keyboard. I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, so you've got it's just a standard width keyboard,
Right.
but then you still have your add-on physical keyboard.
It also looks like the keyboard. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 12.9 inch had more than enough space for that.
So HDR, we were talking
Yeah.
about that earlier today, is coming to the iPad Pro.
Excellent.
That's a
600
win.
nits of brightness. Are they talking about all the iPads or just this? They're talking about just
These
this
new
10.9,
ones.
10.5 inch
new
one.
Pro.
Oh,
True
just the bigger
tone,
one.
yeah.
Okay.
True tone display, wide color gamut, ultra low reflectivity. So this is for looks like 12.9 and 10.5. Is that correct? I just need they're showing two iPads there on screen.
Yeah, it looks like it. I think those are the two ones. But that looks the size difference of that image.
Yeah, they're
looks
talking
quite
about
dramatic.
basically they're bringing up the fact that the 10.5 inch has the same display as the 12.9. That's what I'm gathering here. They're not saying that they're releasing a brand new 12.9 inch iPad Pro yet.
All right. So the Pencil, well, it's not getting an update, but it's being better supported with just 20 millisecond latency.
Ooh, that's a lot. That's even better.
That's
They had a 50 millisecond latency, which was best in the industry.
less than half.
20 milliseconds, that's ridiculous. That's pretty awesome,
That
actually.
means it really feels almost like you are writing on paper.
Like a pencil?
iPad Pro?
No! It's there. You did it.
Hold on. We'll just wait for this product announcement to be finished. Then we'll go. We go there. We'll
Please
go there.
don't ever
We will
finish.
go there.
No.
I have a Pro. I have an iPad.
Oh, God.
Oh, iPad Pro. Okay, that's all. That's all. Let's
We're
not
done
scare
now.
people. So there's a display enhancing technology called ProMotion. All of your motion content on your screens will be smoother and more responsive. So ProMotion also assists the Apple Pencil. So this is basically recognizing how the screen works, and that is aiding in the pencil's 20 millisecond latency. That's hot. That is hot. But again, this is not anything interface changing. It's performance changing. Okay. Wow.
Rye makes a good point. He says here that Apple is focusing on 4K and HDR. They're applying it to everything except for the Apple TV.
Because that's September.
I'm going to bring up a crazy thought.
Yes, please.
Give us an actual TV. Why not? Maybe that's what we're waiting for here.
Well, I think that much like Apple realized it was a lot crazier to be ambitious about. Let's make our own car in a few years, which they completely scrapped. The dynamics of the TV industry, although more similar to computers and monitors, still not that easy just to jump in and just get into.
Sure.
When you have a lot of these factories that have already manufacturing places that have already cut deals, inventory levels with Samsung, LG, Sony,
They're having
Sharp.
They're having a hard time getting glass for their iPhones. right?
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah.
So.
Let alone getting panels for TVs.
So that it looks like this 10.5 inch will be powered by the A10X chip, 6 cores, 12-core GPU, 30% faster CPU performance. Let's see what else they have here.
So,
Graphics performance 500 times faster.
times.
I don't know what they were comparing that
Than
to.
the
though.
original iPad,
Oh, come on.
the A4. Of course, it's going to be 100
on.
times faster
Come
than
on.
the A4.
That's just like natural progression
Yeah.
in technology.
That's like, yeah, I think it's
500 times faster.
They're going to show off a pro photo editing app called Infinity Photo.
oh, interesting.
Not Infinity Blade,
Infinity.
but Infinity Photo. Remember the game? They
Yes.
always
It's on
demo
every
Infinity
Yeah.
Blade. We got Infinity Photo now.
How
Infinity
much is it?
I think this is
Is
a
this
third-party
Lightroom?
company.
Yeah, competitor.
Ash Hewson of Serif
Okay.
is here to talk about
Interesting.
a pro photo editing app.
Sounds like a Game of Thrones name.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
are into Lightroom or Photoshop, whatever, same company. But I think that over the past few years, we've seen a lot more competitors in the space,
Oh,
which
so
makes me so
many.
happy because at some point, it's either you paid $500 or you didn't.
I just remember the first time I saw a third-party app that gave control over curves and levels, and
Yes.
I was like,
That wasn't
mind
that
blown.
was not
wasn't
Photoshop?
That was like, oh my gosh, I'm no longer tied into the Adobe
Yes.
ecosystem. It was just so cool, and it was
Yes.
almost as good as doing it on a desktop. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
especially if all you're doing is editing it for Instagram web use. Seriously,
Which, some people like to spend a lot of time doing that.
point.
I've got my own professional IG filter pro.
Oh, yeah?
It's called Shauna. She just takes my pictures, spices it up. I'm like, I like
Nice.
that. She's my IG pro.
That's
There you
great.
go.
It's like, I don't got time to do this. She's like, oh, she'll be like, I can tell when you use a filter. You need to customize it.
Yeah,
you need
yeah,
to edit
yeah. If you can tell.
Yeah, you can tell.
Mm.
You can tell. She's like, oh, you use the filter here. Let me do this. And I'm like, wow, that really looks way better than mine.
You were probably still using like Hefe from 2005. Oh my God, Brian. That's his favorite filter.
X Pro 2.
X Pro filter.
I thought that was the coolest filter
Oh,
when
it
it
was
first came
so
out. And then I'm
yeah.
like, oh my God, it makes my photos look like doo-doo.
Yeah.
Like, it's the worst filter
When
ever.
I know when you look back at some of the photos that
Oh,
you first
man.
took when
Oh,
Instagram
goodness.
came out, and
The
I'm like,
worst.
oh, thank
Isn't that
goodness.
interesting?
Yeah.
Back then we thought it was great.
I know,
No,
but like,
it
thank
looks
goodness
so bad now.
there's now a hide tool so you can archive them. And I'm like,
Yes.
archiving that one. No one.
Yes.
It's like, I want to keep it because
It's like, I made the sushi look like garbage with X Pro 2.
like all shadowed.
What was I thinking?
Is that because we had crappier
yeah,
screens
absolutely.
back in the day?
Crappier screens and crappier
Oh, true.
cameras, so we
That's a
had
good
to
point.
mask the fact that it was such a
Yeah.
bad photo in the first place
Oh
to make
my
it look even worse.
Yeah.
So true.
This is pretty crazy. They're showing off with this app using, again, these are tools that quite honestly, not a lot of people are exposed to. That's kind of the problem, right? Like, so what he's showing is how much like in Photoshop, he's literally completely outlining Johnny Depp, Jack Sparrow, and building this kind of Pirates of the Caribbean a la movie poster / Photoshoppy / image.
Doing some interesting stuff with hair mapping and masking.
I don't know.
Which
I'm
is
gonna.
very
That's pretty
tricky.
cool.
I'm not
to
gonna lie.
do.
I'm gonna check out Infinity Photo once I get a new iPad after mine was stolen, aka lost, aka stolen, still to be determined.
Oh,
Like my
right.
iPad Pro and my pencil too.
And they took the pencil.
Oh,
It was
oh,
all.
that's
It was all. It was
messed
all. It
up.
was all in the
That's bad.
case. It was
That's
all in the
bad.
case.
That's messed up.
You know, I would just, if I was gonna take it,
I got my AirPods stolen.
What?
These are, you know,
Your AirPods.
yeah,
You got
like,
stolen
from
how?
your ears.
you know, at some point I was entering TSA security.
Oh,
at some point I was
no.
exiting.
Oh no!
I don't know, man.
Wow.
When did you lose them?
In March.
That's funny. I found a pair in March. I'm just kidding.
You went all the way to the airport.
Just
Lost
to get
in-
some AirPods.
It's called Lost and Found. Lost my AirPods, guys.
I honestly didn't even bother filing a report because I know someone snatched them, and there's no lockdown on AirPods.
Yeah. There's, I mean, how can they? So this cool Infinity Photo app, I'm honestly would like to check it out. Available today. They're also talking about battery claims and the cameras for this new 10.5-inch iPad Pro. 12 megapixel camera, rear 7 megapixel FaceTime front-facing camera.
We don't need a good camera on the back. It's just going to encourage people. It's going to encourage people to take photos on their iPads. Stop it, please.
We've
Stop it.
talked about this for years, and it's not getting any better.
Don't encourage people.
I don't understand why.
A lot of companies use it to take pictures. You know, a lot of like I went to the doctor the other day, and the nurse like took a picture of me for their records or whatever, and she used an iPad. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, did you like, you know, say no, I ain't having that.
Yeah, I was like,
What,
sure, why not?
it was the company iPad or her personal iPad?
Oh, weird.
company iPad.
Sir, can you give me 2 coughs? Here, let me take out the iPad Pro while you do that. Weird. Awkward. All right.
Ooh, dongle time.
Yes.
So here's one of the most unknown things about the iPad Pro. So they're talking about they're going to be supporting fast charging. They have great USB 3 chargers.
good.
If you buy, this has happened with the original iPad Pro. You can buy a USB-C charger, and it charges the Apple iPad Pro 2.5 times faster.
What? That's
Yes.
a CNET how-to tip right there.
Oh, I
Why are
didn't.
you
I
holding
mean,
out,
I've been holding
man?
out for like a year then. Like seriously, but it does cost you, but it literally charges it like boom. Otherwise, you wait like 6-7 hours. You're like, this
it's such
sucks.
a slow process over Lightning.
So yeah, it supports the faster charging through the USB-C connection. But so that's actually they never really promoted that.
Yeah, they should. That's a selling feature. Like they're not going to give us wireless charging, but they can give us fast charging, like you know, USB-C on Android phones and the Pixel. Come on.
They also
Sell that.
surely won't bundle that with the iPad Pro. They're gonna make you buy that.
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
And how much is that?
I think it was like I think the cord and the charger. I think it ends up being you spend like 80 bucks
Yeah.
total.
What?
You know,
Sounds
seriously,
about
like
right.
you spend about
Right.
70, 80 bucks just to get that.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on. Plus the $100 pencil.
Which you have to have.
Oh yeah.
Plus the $5,000 iMac Pro. Come on.
So I'm honestly confused here because we're not watching this and we can't hear this. And this sounds dumb. Did they actually update the iPad Pro 12.9-inch as well, or they're just showing them side by side?
Oh.
Can we?
With different.
If
Can
they
anyone tweet me
don't,
that?
The
Can-
implication is that they're phasing it out. That would be.
Yeah, someone let us know.
Can someone just tweet me
we
like
missed that.
because they're showing the pricing of the 10.5-inch. They look like they're putting it side by side with the 12.9, but are they doing anything different? Does the 12.9 getting any? Is that actually a new 12.9?
Yeah, is
I'm
it
confused.
a refresh with those features that
Yes.
we were talking about?
Yes.
That's what we want to know.
Holla at your boy. I need to know this immediately because I need a new iPad Pro. This is all.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
This is basically
important.
completely
This is
purely selfish
personal.
reasons. There's nothing that's purely selfish.
Yeah. All right. Looks
okay.
like there's some specific iPad features in iOS 11.
Here we go.
This
Here we
is
go.
Coming.
Whoa.
All right.
That
And-
app switcher is.
Yeah.
I need a compatibility
Wow.
chart for iOS 11 here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. So much like the desktop, right? You can see like a bird's eye view of your apps. It looks like they're getting that with the app switcher.
Nice.
Drag and drop, like our gentleman who called in, is coming to the iPad.
Nice.
You can drag
is that on
images.
there?
You can drag text. It's a drag fest.
It's a drive.
Thanks, Craig Federighi.
And they have that new app that they quote unquote accidentally launched today called Files.
Ta-da.
It's a universal file system. You can
Oh,
do nested
wow.
folders, spring loading. This is very
my
Mac.
God.
This is very Mac OS type of stuff being brought to the iPad.
Cue every Android owner
Yeah.
ever eye rolling and being like, "You suckers."
Like,
We've
we've
had
had
this
this forever.
literally
Since
forever.
Android day one, pretty much.
One thing you guys have also had is multi-user support,
Oh.
like that Apple still refuses to do.
Right,
Most
because then you
likely to
won't
sell
buy-
more
yeah.
iPads.
Yeah.
So jerky. This is such a D move. We talked about this, Beecham.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's
it's starting to feel a little bit more laptop like.
Mm-hmm.
Is it good enough to replace a laptop?
Nah.
We don't know
No.
yet, but
No.
probably not.
I mean,
It's getting very close.
as a user who is a hardcore iPad Pro user, I'm happy to see this stuff,
Mhm.
but I don't think anyone says I got to get an iPad Pro because of this. now."
Exactly. And
That's the thing.
because you're in the market for an iPad Pro, I mean, you're not going to go out and go, well, I'll buy this and then not buy a MacBook, right?
Right.
You're not going to be doing that. You're going to be going, I need this and potentially a desktop or a laptop, right? It's
Right.
not going to be, this is my one and only machine.
I mean, that's the thing. I got to spec it out because the Surface Pro has so many more options, but it's also way more expensive because it is
So
a
pricey.
laptop
It is,
tablet hybrid.
yeah.
It's, you can get an entry-level 12.9-inch iPad Pro for around like $1,100.
Yeah.
If I was going to get a Surface Pro, I'm not going to buy the entry-level $1,499 one. I want, the faster processors. I want more hard drive space. And it ends up being like around a $2,500 to $3,000 machine for what I would want in that.
Exactly.
And that's also like a price consideration. Like,
Yeah.
it would really need to be my primary computer or laptop if that's how much I was going to drop on it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Getting closer though. I mean, they're obviously trying a little bit harder to compete with Microsoft. Microsoft, is this year more than ever is taking matters into its own hands, creating its own laptop. So Apple's probably feeling the heat a little bit.
I mean, I think it's, again, if you're a user of this stuff, I think you're happy. And I mean, I'm happy when I look at this stuff, but I still know the Surface Pro is just so badass.
Yeah.
It's so much
It is.
better.
And the keyboard is so much better. Oh my gosh.
Yes, it is very tactile. It's got great feedback on it.
The
It's
iPad Pro
really
keyboard is
usable.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's like you're like basically typing on this table mat.
Yeah.
And it's like clunk. It just feels dirty. And I
You don't
returned
get
it.
used to it.
You don't. I returned it right away. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll buy it and just to use it. But I was like, no, this sucks.
Yeah.
This sucks.
I don't know. Realistically, though, the people that are looking at this are most likely, as we've said time and time again, already in the Apple ecosystem.
Yep.
They're not really even knowing that there is an alternative out there of the Surface variety. And they probably are like, Windows, what's that? I did Windows
That's
years and
true.
years ago. I decided that Mac OS and iOS and that ecosystem is where I want to be. And so why do I want to go back to Windows? There's a lot of residual damage there, I'm sure, for people that kind of grew up with this and then they're just like, they've gone over to the Apple side. And even though we know there's alternatives, they don't even want to know because they're so tied into Apple.
This
So
isn't about
tied in.
acquiring new customers
No,
necessarily.
this is about retaining and keeping that brand loyalty really valid.
Yeah.
And making it very aspirational.
You know what I
Very
also, when you talked about kind of like some damage from like previous generations, what I find interesting is that my nieces who are 14 and turning 14, 11, shout out to Janae and Calissa. I love y'all.
Aw.
Their generation is actually more impressed with what Google's doing.
Yeah.
They talk about like, oh, Google's way better at X, Y, and Z. They're like, they say without me getting into their heads, Apple's behind, Google's doing cool stuff. I think the Google Pixel's a cooler phone than the Apple iPhone. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this just what you guys think, or are your friends saying this stuff? And that younger generation thinks Google is, that those teeny bop, they think that Google's cooler, is doing more things. Now, She still has an iPhone,
Right.
Yeah.
right? But she thinks that Google is actually doing better, more exciting things.
Mhm.
And I wonder when you talk about that generational transition of, oh, there's going to be a generation that feels like, oh, Apple just isn't innovating and other companies are. It takes time to slide up. But that type of thinking will exist. I mean, we feel it all the time.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny
because we old.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. I was like, we're old because you just dropped in teeny boppers
Yes, I did. And they listening.
as a generational reference. So, I mean, it's so true. The generational thing is huge. I mean, just look at the success of Snapchat, for example. And, for our generation, I use Snapchat a lot, but it's still confusing and I still don't think I 100% get it, right? Whereas I see people that are, school age, like early 20s, just so naturally doing it. I go out to concerts and I just see people using Snapchat primarily and then switching over to Instagram or Facebook.
But
as they
primarily
say.
going to Snapchat
Primarily
first,
going
right?
to Snapchat first to share those immediate moments and then switch back to another platform.
Like, even if I get it, it doesn't mean I want to use it. And I think that's partially a generational thing, right?
That's
I totally
so
get
true.
it, but I don't want to use it.
It's
all
where
the time.
your friends are too.
Yeah.
It's where the people are you want to communicate with are. Like, if everyone I knew was on Snapchat, I would use Snapchat exclusively. But they're not.
Well, I mean,
They're
I'm
on
still
other
using
platforms.
MySpace and Friendster. And, just kidding.
Am I in your top 8? Am I in your top 8, Brian? Come on.
I'll have to see. I'll have to see the latest updates. I'll have to check that. And okay, so they're also talking about on the iPad Pro marking up like documents. So this is a thing. Can you believe this is the thing where the iPad Pro didn't have the capabilities to mark up?
That's crazy.
Right? And they had a
so
pencil
crazy.
like on launch. So they're talking about that as well in the iPad Pro.
There's also a built-in document scanner, so goodbye to at least a dozen apps that make
Using the
them-
camera, basically using the camera.
That's goodbye, like Evernote. It's goodbye, all of those Microsoft.
I mean, I
One.
use PDF Scanner Pro.
Damn.
Yeah, they're all gone.
Really? Is that how they advertise it? PDF Scanner Pro?
Oh,
Quite the
that's
app,
not what it's
Sharon. Oh, that's not what it's PDF Scanner Pro.
Trying to make something extremely boring cool.
Extremely
Really?
interesting.
Honestly, that app.
Hey, I don't want to check out this app. Seriously.
Look, sometimes in these shows we come up with ad campaigns for companies
yeah,
indirectly.
You're welcome. This is
Hey, what are you using, Lexi, to scan your PDFs? Oh, I use PDF Scanner Pro. Be like, for shizzle my nizzle. It's like Snoop Dogg will be the actual face of that TV commercial.
Yes, this
I
is
would
a
buy
campaign.
that. I would buy that.
Jump on it. You can thank CNET Live later. All right, guys. Everyone's gonna be like,
yeah.
Snoop Dogg gets money out of it. They get money out of it.
Oh, there's a new keyboard. What? Called the Flick keyboard.
Did you also see this that they're talking about? I don't know. It harkens back to the Newton. There's basically a handwriting functionality that smooths out the curves. That makes your that will help to make your handwriting more legible on the iPad Pro.
I want to
That's
see
kind of
this-
cool.
Yeah, I want to see this in action.
I ain't gonna lie.
But I
That's
mean,
kinda cool.
why are we wanting to keep handwriting? Why don't we want to just convert straight to text?
I mean,
that's
there's-
the thing. Handwriting to
True.
text.
Oh,
I mean,
handwriting to
call me devil's advocate here, but I don't quite know if I'm going to write something by hand, I'm probably going to write it.
True.
And take
Right,
notes,
because
and then
there
I want
is-
to convert it to text.
There is evidence that handwriting helps you retain
Commit to memory.
information.
That's exactly what I was going. I wanted
Good
you to say.
point.
That.
But we don't know if you also need it to. You also need to be reading it back in your own handwriting.
Yeah.
Oh, like
That's true.
the way you see it, the way that you wrote it helps also in the
Right.
process.
In other words, should they just convert
Convert
it to type text?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I actually want to see my notes the same way I wrote them.
yeah. No, I
When I
agree.
think about- when I think about it.
Except when I want to search, when I want to do a control F, when I want to find something quickly, and I'm like, I know I wrote it down somewhere, but what page was it? I don't remember. Did I draw a star next to it? Like, how did
Hold
I
up.
mark it?
Right,
What
so
if the
is there
system?
OCR?
What if
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
smart enough to when it re-smooths it, it actually underline
Oh
has
my
the characters
gosh,
there to search
that's
it.
like
Well, then I'm interested. I
necessary.
want that. Then.
New
Evernote
iPad Pro,
does that.
new iPad Pro customers.
Yeah, exactly.
You can
Evernote-
you can replace what was that app called again, Sharon? What was it called? You can replace your.
PDF Scanner Pro.
I love it. I love it.
Well, yeah. So Apple has also, I mean, if you've noticed, been investing a lot in its Notes app. I mean, they've
yeah.
improved it so much. So adding OCR, which is something that Evernote has, which means that you can search your handwritten documents. would be huge. Please.
Please. That's
Thank
something
you.
that would make me excited.
Yes.
Something that makes me interested in it.
I mean, as an iPad Pro user, this is all pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I'm
And
digging.
then this is
As a past
former.
Sorry.
Former.
It's okay. It's okay. We're not supposed to agree on everything,
I
guys.
know the wound is
No, no, no,
still
no, no.
fresh, but
Oh, yeah,
That
past.
wound.
Oh.
I can feel my face when I'm with you, but I love it. But I love it. Oh, I've had feel my face when I'm with you, but I love it. But I love it.
Damn! Send the house on fire here. Isn't that fun? We have those to refer to.
Yeah, totally.
Thanks for pulling
Great.
that up. And you guys were actually singing and enjoying it, not cringing. This is progress.
It's a less cringy one.
You were in that video, I believe. Were
I
you
think
in
I
the
was in the bar scene somewhere in
Yes,
the
you
back.
were.
Yeah. Somewhere in the back. Little
Lexi was
cameo.
getting sloshed in the bar. AKA CNET Studio.
Woo! CNET Studio.
Lots of apple
Hey, that
juice
happens
was
every
exchanged.
shoot. What are you talking about?
Lots of apple juice was exchanged. So they're summarizing up here right now. We're really excited about what we're doing with the iPad this year and really excited about iOS 11 this year.
The Files app was absolutely necessary for all of these new functions. I mean, you can handwrite and scan, but not save these documents. It would be ridiculous. So
I'm also just
thanks for doing the obvious thing.
I'm also just feeling like they finally made people at least that are interested in the iPad Pencil or the Apple Pencil. So confusing.
Oh yeah, they gave it more.
Actually, more
functionality.
worthwhile. Like
That's
it's
true.
you pay $99 for
Yeah.
this stylus. I mean
yeah.
pencil, but it's like they actually added a lot of functionality that can help make it more useful. As also the responsive time is that's pretty much like you won't even feel that now.
Yeah.
20 milliseconds, you're not going to
That's
even feel
nothing.
that.
Just out of curiosity, can you use a third-party stylus with the iPad Pro? Not obviously to get a bunch of the same functionality, but just for the basic tasks of drawing and sketching and things like that.
You can, but it won't be nearly as precise.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that app, gosh, what was it? The one that originally created Paper.
Paper.
They've had a stylus for
Yes.
years. And,
It is.
I had a lot of jokes that I didn't want to go into, so I'm just gonna leave the. I
Thank
just
you,
really,
Brian.
I
Thank
really,
you. Moving
I
right
want to be a
along.
grown up there. There's
Thank
so many
you.
opportunities.
So thoughtful of
and I want to be
you.
respectful
Thank you.
once in a while.
Oh,
but I had to
so
let you know that I
thoughtful.
wasn't going to be respectful,
That's
but that I chose
great.
to be respectful.
But in a way, you just ruined it because
Yes.
you told us.
Exactly.
You didn't hear the joke.
Inside
Trust
voice.
me.
Inside voice.
Inside. Inside.
All right, it looks like they're showing a video now of the iPad Pro 10.5-inch promotional video, people using it in public. And so we're going to let them enjoy that.
Okay, one more thing.
What's up?
No, I'm.
Cook is back on stage. One more thing.
One last thing.
Come on, come on.
One last thing.
Oh, man, I need to
it's
change
not-
this bingo card to
oh,
now one last thing. That's going to be the next one last
gonna be
thing.
the thing.
It's got to be the Siri speaker.
This
It's
has-
got to be the
I
Siri
mean,
speaker.
yeah, what else is
Come on,
left?
this
They've been
is
hinting at it
big.
the whole time.
Exactly. They're saying it's the biggest ever. Come on. Don't let us down.
Oh,
Let's
music.
turn
Turn
our
our-
attention
what?
to music.
What?
Oh, let's
What?
hope this. If this
Oh, you're
is
getting your boombox.
Yeah,
Yes, Beats Boombox.
Siri speaker.
Siri
Siri
Beats
speaker.
speaker.
$4.99 Siri
Boombox.
speaker.
Woo.
If it looked like a boombox, that might actually be cool.
Seriously.
This is really embarrassing. Sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's not. All right, they're saying today the iPhone has become the best portable music player in the world. It's even better when it's paired with Apple Music.
Really?
Come on.
Aw.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't use those gestures here. You now have 40 million songs in your pocket. I can't help myself sometimes. This is ridiculous.
Oh.
What?
And AirPods.
Music.
Oh.
Yep, we have such a great portable music experience, but what about our homes?
What about our
Homes.
homes?
Home.
Well,
speaker.
here's what's
Speaker.
interesting. They're positioning it more as a music device right now, not a smart speaker.
Yeah, I told you.
As they
Beats.
intro this.
Beats integration. It's all about that, right?
Well, Apple knows
Really?
the obvious, which is that most people, although many, many more people are adopting smart home devices, more people listen to music.
And
yeah, that's
they're-
true.
Oh, yeah.
It's
And
a good
True,
entry
true.
point.
Honestly,
Very good point,
most of
very
the
good
time
point.
when I have the Google Home out, even though it's sitting in my drawer now, but when I did have it out, it was really only to play music and
Mm.
listen
Right.
to headlines, news headlines, and podcasts.
Well, that's more
so
than music.
that's really the prime. Yeah. okay.
You know, and
All
set
right.
timers and check the weather. I just-
yeah.
You know they have music in podcasts
Yeah,
these
yeah,
days.
yeah, yeah.
We have the technology.
So Apple says, like we did with portable music, we want to reinvent home music. Phil Schiller's back up stage to talk about this. I have some interesting points that we
very
can follow
clever.
up about this because Phil Schiller had some really interesting comments slamming both the Echo and the Home just a couple weeks ago in general. So here we go. Let's hear
And
what
he
they have
did
to
it
say about
again. There are certainly a lot of companies hard at work making products to enjoy music at home, but none of them have nailed it yet.
I mean,
I would say Amazon wouldn't call it a primary.
if it's about sound quality,
Sure.
100% agree.
Yeah.
If it's about sound quality.
But is it though?
So he said the team has been working on a breakthrough home speaker. Yeah, remember when Apple released that big home speaker they did before? It was like a $300 speaker. It was an Apple one.
Really?
It was a big one. I can't remember the name of it. I mean, it was back in the old school days. So
Oh, it needs to rock the house free from distortion. What am I telling you guys?
Rock
Rock the house. It's going to have this massive sub in it, and it's going to be able to rock the house.
Just the bass.
Just the
though.
bass. Just the bass. We don't need anything else in the music.
it's also, they say, secondly, it needs to be spatially aware. It's going to fit in different rooms in our home, like every speaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every speaker
Yeah,
ever
every
made.
speaker.
Wait,
Unless
what?
it's like a.
Yeah.
Like it can't be the size of my room.
Third, they say it needs a musicologist.
I'm sorry. A
Oh,
musicologist.
right. That's
Here we
a
go.
new degree that you can
Yeah.
get.
This means that Dr. Dre and
I mean,
Jimmy
actually, it
Iovine are
is.
going to come out and be like,
Where's the
"This
professor?
is-
Where's the? We need a doctor in the house. We need a doctor in the
Dr.
house.
Musicology.
You know what, guys?
Doctor.
We almost forgot about Dre.
We've been working on the speaker for later this year, but we wanted to give you a sneak peek of it this morning. They're gonna start showing a video of the speaker close up. Don't tell me it's just a promo teaser video.
Oh, with something like covered.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna give it a few moments to see.
Oh, guys, it has a name.
It's called
HomePod.
God,
Oh,
HomePod.
God.
No.
That's
no.
gross.
Terrible.
HomePod, it looks like a speaker.
It looks like the Mac
And
Pro
a Mac-
with
I told
cloth.
you it was going to be a cloth. Yes, it has a fabric covered
No, God, dear God, dear God.
Do I win the bingo of
You
the whole
do.
show?
You win the bingo of life. That's
Dude,
amazing.
It was a fabric
Oh my
cover.
God.
Oh no! Look at the video is even showing the curves here.
Oh.
It's
Oh.
it's like the
Wow.
UA Boom.
Yeah, it is.
as well.
It is a broom.
I wonder
It's
how
a-
big it is. Right now, it
Seven-
looks like the Mac
probably
Pro.
smaller.
7 inches tall.
Oh,
Says
okay.
Shara, covered in a seamless mesh fabric.
Oh.
I'm still gonna try it out. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I might return
Yeah, I mean,
it.
I want to try it. I want to hear if the so-called sound quality is supposedly better
Wait,
than anything else
black.
on the market.
I want different colors. That doesn't go with my,
with your
feng shui.
With the rest of the
they might offer later colors additionally later. It has a sorry here I'm gonna jump in here. It has a big woofer, a 4-inch woofer that is forward facing, so better deeper bass, fuller sound. As we turn up the volume, it's free from distortion. I thought they didn't even have one on hand. So how do they? That's fine. It's packed with speakers and microphones. There is an A8 processor chip inside, perhaps the biggest brain in a speaker. I think that's a really cool point, how they can use their older processors from their phones that can handle so much and put it in these, I don't want to call it a lower entry device, but just maybe not as sophisticated device,
Yeah.
but still have all that power. That is interesting that they can take all those returned iPhones and put those chips.
Recycled A8 chips.
Do you guys see any buttons on it? I haven't seen
Not
any
yet.
buttons
Not
on
yet.
anything.
No.
I mean, this is great.
There's no mention of Siri in it yet either, is there?
Not
the
yet.
The way they're setting it up, they've got talking about the microphones. They're talking about, echo cancellation, things that are hopefully going to be useful for some sort of voice integration.
The thing that I love is I just want to see everyone's, because Twitter's a bunch of
it's white.
hot takes that are just completely ridiculous. Oh, there's white also. I just can't wait to see what people are saying about the design because it's just like they're getting murdered right now. No, it's a joke. As a joke.
Okay, I was gonna say because I actually think that of all the ways they could have gone, this is not offensive at all.
Oh, no.
I actually like it.
It's nice. It's subtle. It's just that it looks, like one of their products that is pretty much, it looks like the Mac Pro. So and we've seen a lot of this actually historically in Apple recently where their design, yes, to be cohesive with the message of what they've done in the past.
Right. Stubborn.
It's not I don't want to say risk taking, but it's not like when was the last Apple product that you said that design is amazing? I don't think we've seen anything like that.
I mean, just the iPhone probably.
Right? iPhone. Let me think about it.
Oh, the iMac, the very thin iMac.
Yeah, that was a good
design
one.
is
That was
amazing.
good. But so this just kind of stays in line with what they've had before. It's cool. I mean, it's hard to make something that's elegant but not ugly, but still also neutral and generic.
I think
especially for the home.
Yeah, exactly. And like to their point, they were talking about a device that was going to be able to fit into any room in the house. Like I could see that in a bathroom. I could see that in a kitchen, and it's inoffensive.
And it doesn't look like an air freshener.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's just sitting there.
Renews it? Is that what the air freshener that the Google Home looks like?
Yeah.
It looks like it
does.
renews it.
Yes.
Like it straight up looks like a Glade plug-in.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I would say that of all the smart speaker designs, the Echo Dot is probably my favorite. But definitely does not have the sound quality.
yeah, that it has the right now it has the pretty tinny.
Yeah.
But you have the ability to
Plug
do
it
a
in.
Bluetooth speaker
True,
or
yeah.
plug it in. So it depends. If your primary use case for this is as a smart connected speaker, then you're going to probably want the Dot, unless they're going to come out and say home appliance
Yeah, we still haven't
control,
heard that.
Siri.
This is really interesting because based on the sensors it has, and we'll see. The thing is like, okay, how much does this really matter? I guess it does matter a lot, but we'll have to test it in different environments.
Yeah.
Intelligently and automatically, it detects the space it's in. It uses that information to change the sound. Maybe whether it's high vaulted ceilings,
Yeah.
lower ceilings,
Yeah.
a more narrow space versus a wider open space, or maybe there's things that could be obstructing. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that helps. It shoots and beams in different directions of the audio. So yeah, it's room aware for space and sound. They're saying if you love one, you should see what it's like when you set up two. Hold on, wait.
Wow.
Is this a new technology we've never heard before?
Never
called
heard.
surround sound?
Called Sonos.
He's like, you could put one on your left side and one on your right
and
side.
it's like stereo.
Yeah, technically that is stereo.
Yeah, yeah.
Surround. Surround 5.1, 4.1 sound stereo 2.1. Okay, or 2.0. Just don't hate on me, all right?
Man, they are really focusing on the music. So, okay, so here it is. As you see those magic words, hey Siri, as you say those magic words, hey Siri, it can help serve up the music. So, yes, there is Siri. Yes, there is a glowing top, much like Google Home or even Alexa. Although it's going to be a little bit more like the
I ain't gonna lie,
Nebula.
that looks cool. That looks cool from the top. It's like a
no buttons.
It's
at
like
all,
an egg. It's like a futuristic nest, like with a blue egg in it. I'm like, eat it.
So here's the question.
Eat it.
Here's the question. Is it only for use with Apple Music? Because that's
I know,
kind
I
of
know,
implied
I
with
know,
40
I
million
know.
songs, 2 million
Unless you're
artists.
airplaying it. Airplaying something to it.
Yeah.
But not natively.
Not natively saying, hey, Siri, play me something on
on
Spotify.
Spotify. This is
or-
like the Google Maps conundrum, where it's like, I don't want to use Apple Maps. I want to use
I
Google
don't
Maps.
have a subscription. I want to give you X an amount of dollars for this speaker, but I don't want to be again tied into an app that I don't like that doesn't have the music I want on it.
Yep.
That glowing thingy on the top does look kind of fun, but you'll never see it because
It's on top.
across-
And it's integrated so deep into it that you won't actually see the glowing ring or anything.
It's like, hey, for eye candy guys, we're gonna show you this really cool glowing top you'll never see in person.
Well, and that's why, part of Google Home's design is clever because it's slanted.
Yeah,
And so you
so
can
you
kind
can
of glance across the room to make sure she's hearing you.
They're also saying it has a great and helpful home assistant. We talked about its music hook, so you can say things like, play this song by, the normal stuff that we're used to. Play Beats One Radio, play I'm Poppy. So that stuff is there. But they're talking about how it is also grateful and helpful as a home assistant. We'll wait and see in a few moments how much it knows. But like you said, when the caller came in earlier about, obviously there's going to be Philips integration. Typically Belkin Wemo's platform is one of the first ones that is compatible. What are some of the other ones like Honeywell, Nest?
Oh, yeah.
Like thermostats. Those are some of the core
Door
guys that are
locks,
always
security
there.
cameras. So it sounds like we don't know how limited or complete the Siri experience
Here we
is,
go,
but
there's a
they've
picture.
listed, all of the features available. So I'm going to guess HomeKit is also available.
So, from a brief look at that list, it looks like it's pretty much the Siri that we know and don't love that much on the phone, just accessible through the speaker.
Yeah.
And Dan Ackerman makes a great point from CNET. Is it not the full Siri, or is this just a list of predetermined skills? That's unclear because they aren't talking about it. And again, when we talk about a predetermined list, think Apple TV. Predetermined list of what you can do, not the full Siri.
Yeah.
And so that's interesting to see as well. You can say, are the lights on? Turn the temperature to 73 degrees as they're kind of going through some of the smart stuff. This is a screenshot that someone should take of all these kind of different commands that are on there. Text Eric, meet me at the Kabuki Theater at 7 is one of them. Set a 3-minute timer is on there. How long will it take to drive to Tahoe? So a lot of the stuff that we're used to seeing, but clearly integrated with your Apple ecosystem.
What we don't necessarily have is the power of Google. So the reason why, I think despite Alexa's integration with way more devices, Google Home as a day-to-day assistant is a lot more helpful because it has the knowledge graph of Google. So Apple, I mean, man, I don't know how they'll make up for that gap in knowledge, literally.
And it might take some time if they're rolling out, a new AI platform, a new smart neural learning platform. That takes time to build their own library of that stuff. They can't just all of a sudden just take what, Google has.
Exactly.
Because Google's been curating this for God knows how many years.
Right. Yeah. So in the end, it's like, would you rather have a seamless, integrated Apple Home, or would you rather sacrifice a little bit of that integration to have a more probably like innovative and advanced, smarter speaker?
You're also talking a lot about encryption. So it's never listening to you.
Yeah.
When you haven't said, "Hey Siri," it's not listening to you. What you're saying is encrypted.
It's all local. It looks like when they say local recognition, I don't know how much is actually being sent and being processed by servers versus just specifically just on the device.
The ID of your device is private too, so that's pretty cool.
HomePod pricing $349. $349.
That's a lot.
That's hell expensive. That's hell
Yeah.
expensive.
That's a lot.
That's actually
of money.
that's
Now I will argue that if this is truly like an amazing speaker,
true.
Yeah.
Then that's how much you would be paying anyway.
You're paying
It
that
just has
much for
Siri.
a
$300
really
roughly.
good Bluetooth speaker, for example. You would not find that out of the ordinary in the Bluetooth speaker market for a really good quality one. But given the functionality with Siri appears at the moment to be somewhat limited, it's a lot of cash, especially if you can get, as you said, Sharon, a dot for like $49.
You can litter your
$30.
house.
You can the whole house.
Every room.
Yeah,
Connect
every
your
room.
house.
And if you
In
already
the shower.
and if you already have Bluetooth speakers lying around, you can already hook them up.
Yeah.
And then get better quality audio anyway.
But you know what? It is about making these smart speakers really easy to use and understand. And for a family of Apple users, I think it's hard to make the leap and figure out how their current devices integrate with Google Home or Alexa.
Totally. It's just to know that, it's all under one hood. It's all in this
that's easy.
ecosystem. I think you can never underestimate the power of an ecosystem.
Yep.
You just
True.
can't. And when we look at this, because we know the landscape of what's happening just generally in tech, it always comes back to what's your ecosystem.
Oh yeah.
And so there it is here as well. Just the power. Like there will be plenty of people that will buy this because they want it to work. They want to know that it's going to work.
Here's a question though. Do you think the explanation that Apple has given, well, based on what we've read in the blog, do you think that was enough to make people understand what a connected speaker is compared to seeing a demo from the ads from Amazon and Echo or the Google Home, for example?
Well, I think that's why they focused on it as a music player, as a music speaker, which, I mean, that's actually a big gamble for them because they're really hoping that enough people want a connected music speaker, right, as opposed to just a smart assistant speaker at home. And then it's like, and by the way, Siri also works.
I think
It's a gamble.
the big miss here that I'm really feeling and seeing here at WWDC is, look, they, like you said, they're not necessarily focusing on the smart aspects of Siri. Did we really learn that Siri is that much better than it was before today?
No, we didn't get...
That's the biggest takeaway for me right now.
Yeah.
That's the biggest opportunity for them to show us that, like, the virtual assistant, artificial intelligence. This is what our vision of it is moving forward.
Yeah.
There was nothing like
Well,
that.
we did get a few things just to touch on the new voice, which we haven't heard yet. Maybe it's better. And the conversation feature, so you can continue the conversation.
But is she smarter?
That's
I don't think she is.
Hmm.
I again, look, I can't. I always have to preface this. I can't make Siri. Okay, I'm not that smart. So people are like, dude, okay, why don't you make a better Siri? You know how many times I've heard crap like that? Why don't you make an iPhone? Okay, yeah. Why don't you make one? You can't make one either. You can't make one. So again, though, that's at a developers conference. That's the type of stuff that I thought I'd hear a little more because it tells you how much smarter is Apple's iPhone. I think the most exciting, at least from a moving forward thing, is what they did with the iPad Pro in iOS 11. I think some of those features stand out the most. But yeah, I don't think they made it much better at all.
Well, from a developer standpoint as well, like you're going to see this new product, this HomePod, right? And then you're going, well, what do I do with this as a developer? What do I do with this?
Yeah, wait, what
I
about
buy it
that?
and I put it in my phone, but I can't develop anything for it? Like where is that? That disconnect was huge for me.
Yeah.
At a developers conference where you're focusing on, they're talking about things, hardware improvements that are going to make things like VR a reality on Macs, gaming, discrete graphics, things that are actually interesting to developers who are making applications for the platform. And then you go, and here's something you can put in your house, but you can't make anything for it.
Right. I think maybe it's very early for them.
It is.
It's going to be a scramble for them.
It is. And I'm never going to complain when a company shows us something early, but again, whether this HomePod is that great or not, I don't doubt that it's probably the best sounding home speaker, because really they aren't that great sounding yet. I actually don't doubt that, but again, it's the brains underneath this stuff. I don't know if Apple got smarter. They are a products company, but man, you just know when you see what every other company is doing from an AI standpoint.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like we're moving that much. Apple didn't make that much of a jump that I was hoping for.
Not enough to warrant this is the best WWDC ever.
Yeah.
This is the most stuff that we're ever going to show you.
I mean, it is the most stuff.
But well, no, that's true. It is the most stuff. It is
That's
the
funny.
best stuff.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
maybe not the best stuff.
Is this the best most stuff? Is that a best most?
Yeah, we need to
qualify that one.
Okay, so it looks like Apple's wrapping up. We're gonna keep the phone lines open. Let's just hang here for maybe like 15, 20 minutes to
let's
talk a little bit of shop. If you guys and gals want to call us, I'm sorry there were some people that were waiting on the line the whole keynote and finally gave up because it's hard. I get it, but you can call us. The phone number there, right there, 1-888-900 CNET 2638. I'm just gonna take these calls hot, honestly. We're just gonna take these calls hot. So if you're calling, just hang on. But the lines are filling up. We're gonna take about 5, and then we'll talk a little more and wrap this up. But welcome to CNET Live. Please tell us your name and where you're from. And I know people that are calling in are wondering, are they talking to you? Well, I'm talking to you, so just say hi.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi.
Who is this?
This is Jim from Minnesota.
What's up, Jim from Minnesota? Welcome to the show. I'm guessing you saw the keynote along with us. Is that correct?
Yes, I did. I watched the whole time with you guys.
Nice. You are a beast. You are a beast. I love that. So you called to talk. Let's hear what's on your mind. I mean, the keynote just wrapped up. What sticks out? Things you liked? Just lay it on us.
Kind of disappointed from a developer standpoint.
Let us know why, please.
So I'm disappointed because I don't like the store because a lot of small developers won't get a chance to be noticed right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a huge thing for me because it is a huge selling point for Apple to market that.
Product Hunt is your new best friend.
Yeah.
But like
exactly.
Speaking to Jim, like exactly, that's the first thing I saw. I'm like, how are developers going to get seen? It's so much. They've narrowed that funnel, that pipe. Let's jump over to the HomePod, the Mac Pro. I'm sorry, the HomePod, the Fabric Mac Pro. What as a developer? I mean, they didn't give us enough, but what did you think of that?
I honestly didn't like it that much. I mean, they obviously haven't spoke about giving any developers any development things to use. I developed on the Amazon Echo.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
They let us, have that right away, and they said there's a bunch of different applications you can do. This is the ecosystem. This is how it's going to work. And then they said something new is going to be coming very quickly following after, which was really, really nice. With Apple, I haven't heard anything from them. Obviously, they don't even have the hardware in place right now. They're just showing you what this is going to be, but I don't think they're even making it currently. I think they're going to make adjustments to it. But honestly, at home for personal use, I'm using a $45 Amazon Echo Dot with a Sonos Play 5 Generation 2. That's all I need. It can hear me across the room. It plays amazing sound. I just think that the price point this is currently set at, it's just not worth it.
They're basically
the Siri's a big thing.
They're basically just like, wait, if you haven't yet purchased a smart speaker, wait for us. We're coming, don't worry.
Yeah, Amazon has done a fantastic job with their AI. I can ask my Echo Dot a bunch of different things. It can actually go out there, it can find things. There's apps being made now where the Echo Dot eventually is going to be able to, you'll be able to tell a wireless camera, if you detect motion, the Echo Dot will respond to you and say, hey, there's motion in this place. It's going to work forward and backwards. But right now you just have a list of things you can say to Siri, and every single time you say something, it didn't get that, it didn't understand. It's just really, it's awful.
Well, this is Jim. Thanks so much. We're gonna jump through the calls, but thanks so much for the insight. I love your perspective as a developer. It's funny when you're like, oh, they didn't really tell us much about Siri, and it's how we can use it as a developer, and we're like, yeah, it's a developers conference. So maybe.
I just want to be clear. I'm very excited for Apple to create its own smart speaker and enter the race for sure. It's a matter of it's the context of the show and the amount of catching up or not catching up they did during that announcement. So, and kind of calling it a just basically a speaker.
But you were okay with that when they first, because of the positioning of it.
Right. No, I understand it from a business perspective why they would do that. That makes sense. But it's not, we as tech experts know that that's not what they're creating here. They are creating a smart speaker. So yeah, it must have been very disappointing for developers to not get access to it.
Yeah, they will eventually.
I did have one quick question to ask you, not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to know, to everybody who's listening, do you think Apple had a wall of just random names that they threw darts at when they named all their products?
It's well. First of all, the dart wall. There's half of the room that all had eyes on it. Okay, it's I blank, I this, and then the other in naming that HomePod, the other half just had pod at the end because they're like, well, the iPod is our history, it's our music product.
Right,
we have to keep the pod somehow in there. That's not a pod, that's a speaker, but okay, we'll call it a pod. And then they had all these other names on it, right? Let's all guess. Sound Pod was probably one of them.
Yeah.
Music Pod.
Boom Pod.
Smart Pod.
Yeah.
Jim, you want to throw your name in the hat? You want to throw out a name with pod at the end?
Ooh, I would just say the Pod.
The Pod.
Yes.
And I would add Pro at the end of it.
Pod Pro.
Pod Pro. I have a Pro. I have a Pod. Oh, Pod Pro.
Wait, why am I doing
this? Yes, it's catchy.
See, it's ingrained in us.
Hey, Jim,
now.
thanks so much for calling. We appreciate that, all right? And thanks for watching.
Guys.
Awesome. All right, we're going to jump over. Again, we're going to kind of keep on getting through some of these calls and just see where you guys are at. I'm going to take on this call. Welcome to the show. Name, where you're from, and let us know what you want to talk about.
What's up, brother?
What's up?
Hey, ladies.
Hi.
Hello.
Who's this?
How you doing? Oh, I'm just talking about that HomePod situation.
Yeah.
That's just child through a throwback. That's all. You know how we used to have phone calls?
Oh, right.
Amazon is doing the same thing. Everybody's just doing right back to the 90s. That's all that's going on right now.
It's so true. It's a great nostalgia.
90s kids are running things right now.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's
true.
true.
That's such a good point.
So what's truly happening is that they're really, really trying to introduce something, because what's happening is on the podcast on that situation, what they're trying to do is machine learning, trying to grab people in so they can analyze everything what's going on first. And that 325, is it 325?
$349.
Yeah, $349.
Yeah, that $349 price range is for people that can afford that range.
Yep.
So that they can do a lot of machine learning, and all that type of situation right now. For that's what they're trying to accomplish right now. That's their main goal. For that.
Are you a customer? Are you someone that? How about this? Does that appeal to you or not? You know, as a consumer, whether you're in the Apple ecosystem or not, you saw what they just announced. Does that product right now, as it stands, appeal to you? Like, would you buy it, or you're more on the fence, or you're like, no?
It's not that I won't buy it. It's just that it appeals for somebody that is looking for more towards, somebody, certain amount of income. And they're looking for ease and flexibility. They're looking for, somebody that can basically touch, like, all right, I could just talk to my speaker and I'm good. Just kind of like the Amazon Echo.
Yeah.
But the Amazon Echo has the learning, and I think they have some form of more machine learning than, and Apple's trying to get into it, but they haven't. They have a lot of wealth, and people are aware of their wealth, and that's what's happening. And they're going into that motion of saying, we have to first introduce the audio aspect and the microphone inside the speaker itself, or the HomePod. And that's the first thing they need to do in order to get the machine learning first.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll see.
So you guys are aware of it.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. I think that. Thanks so much for calling. I think it's a great point of like, yeah, Apple prices it at a certain point specifically because they try to cater to a specific audience purely based on their price point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They've always done that. Quite honestly, they've been a little more, actually more competitive in general, but still not, competitive with what the rest of the market is putting out there. So even their Apple Watch, they dropped the price, to make it a little more affordable. I think is it at $229?
Which one?
I think the Apple Watch $249. They launched it. The original one came out at like $349, and I'm like, and that's like, come on, are you serious? And so they're aware of it, but at the same time, when a new product and it's a new platform that comes out, they like to price it high. They like to appeal to basically their high-end users, which tend to have more disposable income, and they're not bashful about it at all. They've never been. So, thanks for calling. We appreciate that. I'm gonna take in the next line. Welcome to CNET Live. This is Brian, Sharon, and Lexi. Welcome to the show. What's up? What's your name? Where are you from?
Hey, I'm Justin. I'm actually from Canada.
Oh, Canada. Hi. What up, Justin? Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about?
I just want to say something real quick. I was actually really disappointed with majority of the show. I thought there would have been a whole bunch of updates to the OS. There was barely anything for developers. There was barely anything for consumers. Maps barely even had a showcase.
Yeah, I agree with you. When we were talking about earlier in the show, they were speeding through things. It felt like they were speeding through things. And we knew that they had a lot to announce. It felt like they were showing off a few features that consumers like you and me might or might not care about, but it didn't cater to the developers. And I'm not asking them to get into a nitty-gritty session about Swift and coding and whatnot, but I don't know if and maybe these workshops on the side, a lot of times after the keynote, it's the workshops that happen behind the scenes that appeal to developers and teach them about these hooks. I don't know if that's going to answer any questions specifically about the HomePod. I most likely will not have any type of workshops off the side about the HomePod. And when there's new hardware, you want to know how you can develop for it. I'm an iPad Pro user. Did you like any of that stuff they were showing off with the pencil? Or you're like, it's just not for me because you don't use an iPad Pro?
Personally, I don't use the pen myself, but one thing that stood out for me that I absolutely loved was the whole filing system. And again, that was the only thing that really stood out for me, really.
All right. Well, I think that we can count your vote as a disappointed WWDC keynote viewer. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct.
All right. Thanks so much for calling, Justin. We appreciate it. All right.
Thank you. Love the show.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, we're going to jump in here. Let's try and get this call here. Welcome to CNET Live. Welcome to the crew. You're on. What's up?
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Hello. What's your name and where are you from?
Yeah, my name is Anton. I'm calling Vape. I'm calling from India, Bangalore, India.
Wow.
Hi.
Also, if you turn the volume on your computer down and just talk to us through the phone, then you'll be able to talk to us real time.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about after this keynote?
So I'm talking about in a consumer point of view. It's a real disappointing for me, as I was really expecting a lot more changes in the iOS 11, as it marks a 10th anniversary for Apple. So I was expecting a lot of changes in the interface in iOS 11.
Oh, you wanted to see maybe a new design?
Yeah, a new design, a new interface. There was a huge rumor of dark mode, and
Yes.
many people were waiting for dark mode, but it didn't came out. So I was actually waiting for dark mode till the last moment, but it didn't came out. So that's real disappointing. And of course, new interface, new icon design, because it's basically the same interface since 6 to 7 years now, and there's not a huge there's not huge amount of changes that has been done yet. So I was thinking about some overall new changes, but that didn't came out. There's a very, very little change that has been done from iOS 10 to iOS 11. So that's the thing. And talking about the AR project, and so those things also a little is similar to the Project Tango. And the proactive Siri thing is also similar to Google Now, that is now 2 years old thing. So there's not anything that much new apart from the MacBook Pro and all, but there's nothing new, innovative thing.
Innovative.
What about the $4,999 iMac Pro? I mean, can't we all get around that? Can't we all just dig into our wallets and just come up with $4,999?
Obviously.
I'm just messing
I think that for video, AR, VR professionals, I would think that this show is very exciting for them. There are, so, but for the general consumer base, besides a smart speaker,
I think you made some great points there. I mean, talking about kind of the interface design and the lack of options that we've been thinking about and wanting a lot for a long time, such as dark mode. I mean, I'm just interested to know, like, I'm assuming you're tied into the Apple ecosystem quite deeply. Like, is this making you more or less excited for an upcoming hardware release like the iPhone later on this year? Are you going to be thinking about upgrading, knowing that it's going to look like iOS 11, except the outside's going to be different?
Well, Lexi, he would answer if I didn't accidentally drop the call.
Oh, no. That's why you were laughing. I was like, what am I saying? That's so funny.
I was laughing this whole time.
Funny.
I didn't want to interrupt you. I wanted you to continue on with the question, and then I would break the news to you that
I'm sorry.
So we're sorry, but so he won't be able to answer that.
I'm gonna answer.
Send us an email.
And on that note, on that note, everybody, we have to run. There are so many more of you guys and gals that called. We're sorry that we can't get all of them. The lines are still full, but we're gonna wrap things up here at CNET Live. Make sure you go to our breakdowns. We have people inside the WWDC keynote that'll have first looks of videos of whatever they're showing us over there. Maybe there's a HomePod behind glass.
Ooh. I don't think it's behind glass. I can see people tweeting
Are they
live
touching
photos.
it?
Oh,
so
actually,
stay
maybe
tuned
it is
for
glass.
some video.
I don't
even know. So, anyways, thank you all for joining us again. We'll be here next time for the next keynote, whenever that is. But if everyone just want to say goodbye to the peeps.
Bye, my friends.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for
sharing
watching
with us.
Beach 'em.
See you guys later. It was a blast.
All right. Again,
It's been real.
Take care. CNET.com. We'll see y'all next time. Be safe. Peace.
Bye.